Back, baby. You know how it be. We are live with some more BLOOMBURROW draft content. Make sure I can pull up the Twitch here. And hopefully I don't get permanently banned. So I actually already have a draft in place here. I just played my first game with it. So we have a really strong red-green deck so far. We have a Galewind Moose, 3 Wolverine. I've actually never had more than 2 Wolverine, which is pretty cool. And then I picked up this Mira Trash Tactician. Honestly, what's been really, I guess, slightly irritating in this format is it just feels like if you don't get into green, you're just at a strict disadvantage because 9 out of 10 people you play against, some amount of cards in their deck are green. Like, very rarely do you play against someone that doesn't have green. And if they're not green, it's probably red-white, which is also, like, kind of a rare occurrence. Actually, probably more likely they're red-black than red-white. But the most frequent decks you see are green-black, green-blue, green-white. Those are, like, the 3 most likely occurrences. I personally never gotten, like, a really good green-white deck, so hopefully we can do that soon. Because everyone says that's, like, the best thing to be doing. But I just don't really get offered, like, the good token cards. And then I end up in a green-white deck where it's like, I don't have the token cards, so I have all these cards that require tokens to reach their ceiling, and then they can't reach their ceiling. We just lose. It's, like, really weird. Alright, it's a 1-lander. It's easy mole here. This is pretty nice. I didn't see if I was on the play or on the draw. That really changes things. I'm just gonna put this back, to be honest. It's not like I have an aggressive start. That card might have been better with the Longstalk Brawl, but, like, I need an early play to make action anyway. It's unfortunate that, like, I don't know how I was offered 3 Hivespine Wolverine, but then just never saw a Junkblade Bruiser. Because Junkblade Bruiser is, like, kind of a crucial part of these decks. Okay, so opponent's playing green-blue. 3 Tree Scribe is an interesting card because I actually do rate this, like, somewhat highly. The issue is it's only good in one deck, which means you really can't pick it early unless you're just, like, a high roller motherfucker, which I am not. So, most of the time when I get a green-blue deck, I don't usually have this. It's, like, a weird situation where it's, like, with green-blue, I feel like you need 2 things. You need Pawn Profit, and you need things that allow you to bounce. And typically you want to pick the bounceable things first, and then it's, like, weird where you're supposed to, like, pick the Pawn Profits. So you don't always get into that deck. So he is a Mockingbird, though, which is one of the best blue cards, in my opinion. One of the reasons you actually want to start blue. Yeah, let's just go ahead and fight. Do I want to get rid of one of these? I mean, I need the land to be able to play that one next turn anyway, so. Okay. I mean, I can rummage again anyway, so it's not really like I'm losing a lot. And he's tapped out, so I might as well just do this. Get him for the 3, baby. If you guys have not yet, make sure to go check out the video that I just posted today. I think it's really funny. And hopefully I get flown out to Mar-a-Lago to go against JD Vance. That'd be really cool. Okay, opponent has the Lily Splash Mentor, which is another crucial part of this deck. Another card that I think is, like, a cornerstone of this deck and something that, like, is kind of weird at the stage of, like, it's difficult to say exactly when we want to be picking this up because you do want to, like, be starting off fairly open in this format. And if you don't have, like, good things to bounce, the card's just okay. But when you do have, like, multiple Pawn Profits, the deck is just absurd. And the difference between having, like, multiple Pawn Profits versus having, like, the 2-1 guy that allows you to loot is just, it's so bad. Let's go Alania's here. Alania. Honestly, I feel like this week I've been wanting to play. I've just been playing Cinder and Cutthroat a lot more than I actually was. Like, I feel like this card just goes in every red deck because it's like not that bad. Like, the stats in this format are just so bad if you're not playing green. And it's kind of sad because, like, honestly, it's not even that unfair. Oh, I didn't mean to adjust the music. I want to turn on SFX. Okay, there we go. Yeah, like, the stats are honestly not that bad on this card. But it's like, green just gets the equivalent level of stats as you, and you don't have to do work. Yo, what's up, my boy Trent? How you doing, son? Okay, this guy, he kind of has a broken field, and I'm gonna have to fuck this guy up for the homie Trent. Okay, how do we want to fuck this guy up? Let's look at our deck. I guess I care more about green mana than not, so I probably want to discard this red source. Actually, probably want to use this turn too. Honestly, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go Longstock Brawl. Now, do I want to... Yeah, I have to give him a fish. I'm handing out the tapped fishes, boys. Watch out. The tapped fishes are coming down. Now, I think I might actually... No, I can just kill that. I was thinking I need to kill his 3-tree Scribe, but that's not actually true. So we're going to discard this. I'm on the level 6s. Yes, sir. 6 bombers are here. Fuck the people who put the shortage on the 6 bombers. They really out here putting me through the shortage on the 6 bombers. Like, for real, for real.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Bro, I'm literally giving out tapped fishes like it's candy. I'm literally out here fucking on this guy with the sweetest fish. They can't take what's mine, that's true. There's probably a shortage because you put in 2 at a time. Oh shit, he had a pawn profit, bro. Don't be doing me like that.
Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
He has 2 pawn profit? What the fuck?
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Yeah, this is really one of those situations. I really wish I would have used one of my Longstock Brawls to kill that. But assuming that my opponent in his somewhat simplified game state had 2 pawn profits specifically is like really asking a lot. I can't believe I've given him 3/1/1 fish though. That's pretty funny. What the fuck, man? JD Vance ain't got shit on Beats by Ash. That's true. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's probably just going to trade with me a fish. That's what I would do if I was in this position. Are you just going to take 5? Okay. It's kind of just unnecessary damage. But now I have 2 5-power attackers. He might just outvalue us with the pawn profits, though. This card, with this card on the field, just allows our opponent to continuously pay 3 mana to draw a card. And that's even more broken. Wow. This guy just has such a free deck. It's very obvious and very evident to me that he was in a pod with Neanderthals. Because, like, I don't know how you're getting all these free goodies. Like, that's what's kind of frustrating about this format. Is, like, there's certain cards that just make a person who already got a premium deck just, like, feel even more win more. Like, for example, with this deck, if this guy also had a patchwork banner, I would just quit out. Because there's, like, no way I'm ever beating someone who has 10 plus of the same, like, tribal type and a patchwork banner. He hasn't responded to my challenge because he's on the level 3s. Yeah, we need to, what we need to do is we need to contact him through Tucker Carlson. So Tucker can show him about the level 6s. Also, I need to talk to him about changing the legislation on the Kratom. We need to de-legislate the Kratom here. I just got a new kilo in, and they started putting the nutrition facts on the back, and I was like, what the fuck? That's weird. I've literally never seen there be nutrition facts on Kratom, because typically, like, for the history of its time in the USA, it hasn't been considered, like, for human consumption, so there is no prerequisite to have nutrition facts. And on the back it also says do not take more than 2 servings in 24 hours, and their idea of a serving is a teaspoon. I'm like, bro, what? Yeah, you've never seen the nutrition facts because they aren't supposed to have them because it's technically not labeled as a product for human consumption. But this package that I just received today from the company I've been ordering from for over 3 years, probably like the most legit company, somehow there's now like a label on it that has the nutrition facts. And I was like, that's really fucking weird. So apparently there's like some legislation that's changed, I guess. This really sucks because this card's kind of absurd, so I think I have to do this. I mean, if he just spends all of his mana to, like, draw cards, he probably will be forced to block with at least one of his 1/1s. Okay, I've literally never seen someone play that card. That card has to be ass.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Yeah, this guy is a bozo. Do not put this card in your deck. It's terrible. This is probably one of the worst, like, decks you could be playing this in. Now, the only reason you would ever play this is if you're in the threshold space and you're just really low on playables. But this guy's deck's super premium, so he literally, like, every single card we've seen is a frog or a rare. Like, what the fuck is this deck? This is disgusting. I'm like 25 drafts in, and I have not seen a deck like this. Wait, that's funny. I can blow up his Gossip's talent. I could blow this up, but I think I just need to give someone a 1/1 counter. If I attack with everything, it demands 2 blocks, which means he has to lose at least one of his pawn profits. At the same time, he'll chump this, and that's not really good for us. I mean, I think we're just going to do this. Wait, is this guy actually willing to do that? That's like a really advantageous trade for me. Holy shit, that's so good for me. I feel like this guy's just through. They're gonna poison our supply for real, for real. If we're gonna leave the borders open, we need to, like, you know, start having people who are coming across the border illegally bring in fresh kratom. You know, that's the least that they can do. You know, if you're gonna come in and not work, you need to at least bring kratom. You know, these are the prerequisites. You can either work or you can bring over kratom for people who already work over 12 hours per day. At least that way, in some extent, you're affecting the economy in a positive fashion. Honestly, if we started like transporting kratom over to Mexico, people probably wouldn't come over. They just stay there because they would have kratom. Be like, okay, this is pretty good. Okay, so if I attack with everything, he has to block minimum 2 things. And if I activate the ability, yeah, we're just going to do it. Math is for blockers. Anyone who's new to Magic the Gathering, so you have what's called the attack step. You attack, and then instead of choosing what you want to attack, your opponent chooses which one of your creatures that they want to try to like block instead of taking damage. And a common thing to do is not do math and just attack with everyone and let your opponent know that math is for people who have to block. Because like usually the person who's on the blocking end of the equation is a pussy. Like, so that's why I have so much more health than this guy. I don't think this guy understands how Menace works. This is actually crazy that I'm actually, like, potentially gonna kill this guy because he's just so far ahead. Like, honestly, I haven't even advanced my game state for 3 turns, and somehow this guy's just at 2 HP. Oh, okay. This guy's deck is just more premium than anything I've ever seen. Dude, how are you about to lose when you have 2 Lily Splash Mentor, Mist Breath Elder, which is probably a B+ rare given what he's shown us in his deck, and then also you have 2 Pawn Prophet. You have, like, every card in your deck is a frog or a rare. Bro, please stop letting me brick out on lands. Don't do this to me.
Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Do not let me lose to this fiend, because I don't know that I can beat him 2 games in a row. His deck's just too preem. This guy's deck's so premium, he might as well be a supreme reseller. Bro, what? I need to draw my moose. The moose is loose, boys. We need to let the moose loose. This card is so ass that this guy has had open mana for 5 turns and not really, like, done anything beneficial with it to advance his game state. But for some reason, he left this at level 1. That just shows you this is a card you really shouldn't be playing. Wow, this is really cool, man. Imagine if, like, my opponent wasn't a dirty high roller and I didn't, like, brick on lands. This guy would just be dead, like, 5 turns ago. Oh, shit, he's going level 2. I'm scared. He's going level 2, boys. Don't let him get to level 6. Surely I can deal 2 damage. Okay. No, I can't do 2 damage because I'm just going to top tick a land for 7 turns in a row. That's really cool. I love it when my guys permanently tap down. I love that, man. Such a cool thing to do, man. Wait. Can I actually kill this guy? There's no way this guy has a counterspell, right? He's not that guy. Bro, what? I'm not gonna lie, that was so fucked. I top deck a land for 7 turns in a row, and then suddenly my opponent draws a counterspell to answer my one way to push through damage. That was not cool. Okay, so I just need to be able to answer his value engine. The issue is he has like 8, so I don't know that that's really possible. Is there anything I'm missing in the sideboard? I could put in War Squeak. The unfortunate issue about that is I would do that, but this card is actually ass. So I think I will choose not to do that. And then on the other side, there's no other cards that are even within my color parameters for me to put in. So I'm just going to hope that we draw our one rare into the moose and let the moose go loose. Now, fun fact, a lot of people don't actually know this, but just like the new movie Deadpool and Wolverine, the moose and the Wolverine are actually the dynamic duo that we never knew we needed. And the lore depicts that. See, the Wolverine is destroying the mice in his picture, and so is the moose. The mice are flying everywhere, and that means that this is the wombo combo that the world needs to see. The question is, should I just splash this Viper because, like, this is a based card, and my opponent's deck is already, like, such a cheapo depot deck, I might as well do something fun? I think the answer is yes. Alright, surely I'm not going to get mana screwed. We're just going to put out the worm, and we don't even need to reduce him. Alright, Caleb, thank you for getting yourself banned. I really appreciate you stopping by, but you're going to need to increase the level of proficiency of your botting, because it fucking sucks. You're banned, bud.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Alright, I got it, guys. Alright, let me add this new sound to the soundboard because this is important for whenever someone does some dumb shit. Alright, there we go. Okay, well, this is not what I was looking for. This is not the hand you were looking for. Wow, this card would be so nice, though. Imagine if we had the mana sources to play this hand and we just did this into this. That'd be so dirty. Well, this is a lot less good. I'm probably, if we get to a third game, I'm going to swap this Valley Rally. Oh, awesome. Our opponent starts with the turn 1 bomb. The most important thing to know about this format is that the game starts on turn 1, and if you don't have anything to respond to a turn 1 play, you're probably already dead. You probably don't even have enough time to tell your friends about how you lost. Like, you're just done. Calling blue, okay. Do not have a turn 3 pawn profit. You're not that guy. Okay, that's even worse for us. That's actually so perfect for this person. Just passing, what the fuck? Let him know, baby. Mr. Whiskers is in this bitch, son. Wow, that's so dirty. I hate this card. The reason I dislike this card is because it's just so narrow in its implications. Like, sometimes this is just the only guy you have on the board, and you just can't play anything else because you're forced to keep bouncing it and it loses you the game. And then other times you're in a broken scenario like this guy, where you have like 15 frogs, which I personally never been in, like, and almost 30 drafts in, and it's just bonkers. There's like a really polarizing card. Okay, well, that's an action I can make for sure. That's really cool. Sweet. Yeah, I'm not going to give this guy any more fish. He's a bunk boy. No fish, sir. Alright, I figured out how we win, guys. We just don't give our opponent tapped fish, and then we just win. Last game, I failed the mission because I gave my opponent too much fish, right? Like, I was giving them too much protein, which naturally, like, increased their testosterone and made their skin, like, really smooth from, like, all the oils. But if I deny them the fish, neither of those things will come true, and we'll just fuck them up. Unless our opponent just happens to play, you know, like another bomb after we use our removal spell, then that may put a tear in it, which they did. Okay, so I'm just gonna attack first so he can take some damage. And then I'm gonna top deck another Longstock Brawl because I'm just him. If we top deck another Longstock Brawl, this is actually so based. You have one blue. You're not that guy. You don't have the counter. It's a Longstock Brawl. Nope. Alright, that's not what I asked for. Sheesh. I do really like Longstock Brawl, though. Honestly, like, that's a really underrated card, and it goes really late. It's like a card that if I was in a competitive pod, I would definitely take earlier. But because people just undervalue it, you get them really late. And realistically, people think it's like for a segmented amount of decks. In all actuality, it's good in any green deck because green cards' stats are just naturally better than the stats of every other color. So I guess, yeah, let's just do this. I was thinking about if I wanted to play my land because if he has a counter, but with one green, one blue, he can only make me pay 2. Bro, what?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Alright, that's really frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. No Kappa pride in the chat, boys. That was frustrating as heck. Our opponent is anti-Kappa pride. They just have everything, but for some reason I was able to like almost kill them last game if I didn't brick on lands because they just have very bad technical play. Those are like the worst matches to play. I would rather lose to someone because they did something skillful than them just having like a freeload deck like this and being so bad that they don't know how to end the game. Okay, we're just playing double Wolverines. Unfortunately, he has that essence capture again, so he's gonna negate one of my Wolverines, which is like sussy baka as fuck, but it is what it is. I guess technically there is a chance that if this goes through, my Whisker Quill Scribe could allow us to rummage, but this is getting negated. Yeah, he's just gonna negate it. I already saw it coming a mile away, bud. Oh, he just had a different counter. Okay, well that's even more fucked. He just had the better counter. Now I know he has a premium counter and a non-premium counter, which is a little bit frustrating. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to keep holding this land because I can rummage again if I can target. That's actually a really cool interaction because this card typically... Oh, never mind. This guy's deck is just... Dude, like... How does this guy have every single card that is a B+ or above within this archetype? I've never even seen someone with a caliber of this deck. Like, what? And also, how can you be this bad with this deck? This is like it just auto-plays itself. I don't know how you're getting in a pod where you're just getting handed this many free green cards. Like, the frogs I understand, but just getting all the other, like, free premium green cards is just absurd. Because, like, pretty much every single person that you play against has green in their deck. Like, there is a 5% chance you go against someone that is not playing green. And it's actually absurd. Okay, so I guess the only way we can win here is if we just pass and hope that he will attack and let us moose.
Oh, you already have a drink.
Oh, thank you.
It was free. I don't know if it has caffeine. Here's half my sandwich if you want it.
Okay, awesome.
Meals, we get a free half entree you order online. So I ordered, you know, free half.
Awesome.
Half poppy seed salad. A whole sandwich.
Shout out to Mom for the charged lemonade from Panera. You know how we be. White boy pride in the chat. Panera is the only thing we have to our heritage. Oh, he's going level 3, boys. He can go level 3, but like if he decides to go level 6, I'll have to step in. If this guy's another counter, I'm gonna cry. You guys don't want to see me cry. Please. Please. I don't want to cry in front of my chat, please. I'm gonna cry more fake tears than the girl who lied about Alex Pereira. No way, I actually got that interaction off. That's absurd. I didn't know I was allowed to do that. Oh, and he has another big drop? Yeah, this is probably one of the best decks I've ever seen in the format. Ooh, we actually drew the Rotten Mouth Viper. That's cool. Unfortunately, we don't have the mana sources to play it, but that's still just cool that we have it, right? Honestly, I think I just want to kill this. Yeah, so first things first on the realist. Are you just letting that go through? Sweet. Honestly, this is becoming one of my favorite cards. Like, just because, like, worst case scenario, it's 5 mana, 6/5. That's the worst. And this is just such a stat-heavy format, where if you don't have good stats, you're just playing a different game. And the fact that there are certain enchantments, such as Hunter Talent, which basically, if you can't answer this, it is a Doom Blade that gives you a win condition, and you're just out of the game. And this card gives you the option to answer it, which I think is really cool. Man, I just can't even say enough good things about green. Green is just so nice, man. Oh, he also has a moose? Bro, like, what? What is this guy's deck? That's how he got a Gale Wind Moose. He just copied it with his Mockingbird. Oh, that's absurd. I thought that he legitimately, like, got that. I could just attack. But then if he trades away his Night Fisher, I could be in a bad spot. I mean, hell, I'm already in a pretty bad position. Maybe it was correct to just risk it and just attack. See if he would have made the trade on the Moose. That at least confirms that I'm at worst at a 3-turn clock. Whereas if he just has a removal, I could be on a 1-turn clock. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anyone, even online, with a better green-blue deck than this. This deck kind of reminds me of, like, playing against Eldrazi in Modern Horizons 3. Because it feels like having this setup is just Writhing Chrysalis on Writhing Chrysalis. Yeah, this is so absurd. I think this guy can just attack with everything, though. Bro, just attack with everyone in the game. Well, that wasn't cool. Wow. Not only did that guy have the most busted deck I've ever played against, he also just drew the perfect card at each time. Like, I can't do anything for 5 turns, and then all of a sudden, I actually have an action to make, and that is the turn that he specifically top decks a counterspell. Man. Yeah, green-blue is just really unfun to play against if you're on the back end of the stick. Because it's kind of just like, you can't necessarily kill that fast, but you just have to sit there and watch the guy like keep drawing cards and accruing value, and it's just really unenjoyable. Oh wow, our opponent didn't start with a green mana? Chat, what do you want to bet the chances are that this guy is actually playing white-green? I feel like it's like 90%. If he's not playing green, oh, he's playing white-red? Okay. Respect to him for not playing a green deck, because now I actually have a chance to potentially play the game. Sonar Strike? Flash and Mousetrapper? Or no, you can't do that. Oh, he actually did have Sonar Strike. That's funny. Man, I be calling things in this format, and I act like I'm skillful for, like, calling out the exact card he's going to play when he does it. But the simple reality is that this format is very linear, and it's very easy to infer what is exactly in your opponent's hand. And there's, like, honestly not that many things for you to predict at each mana cost. And so, like, if you actually know all the cards in this format, which I think it's easier to do so than other formats because they're, like, more simple compared to other ones, it's very easy to just tell what your opponent has at all points in the game. So, for example, like, if he's playing white and he has 2 white sources up and he has 4 mana and he's attacking with everything, like, he has to have Rabbit Rescue. There's nothing else that he could have in the game at that mana cost, right? He could have something less, but if he's attacking with everything, it's like a 90% chance he actually has Rabbit Rescue. And, like, when I attacked there, it was a 100% chance for him to have Sonar Strike, because unless he had a flash creature that, like, wasn't going to be able to kill my guy, which I don't even think there is, he really could not do anything, right? It just had to be Sonar Strike. So I guess the question is, do we care about letting this go? I think we don't. I think in this situation, it's just too valuable to be able to, like, so, because I'm never going to be able to trigger this ability. He's always chumping if I attack with this, because that's just an advantageous exchange of value for him. And he's playing an aggro deck, so I don't really have to worry about running out of gas, so I always do this. And, like, he can't have a counter. He doesn't even have 2 white to go Parting Gust, and there's, like, no instance he could respond with. So I'm going to pump up this, just let this, like, fizzle out, and then if I attack, it's basically he has to have Sonar Strike or, like, a Blooming Blast. Well, now he can't have a Blooming Blast, so he could have a Take Out the Trash. So it's either a Take Out the Trash, or he has, like, the buff spell. The red one. Well, I guess he could have the white one. Oh, he actually had Mousetrapper. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I did that, because regardless of what I did, it was going to be guaranteed that I wasn't getting in for damage, which means that I wasn't really getting value by playing that card. Oh shit, he actually played an Otterball Antics. He's playing blue. red, white, blue is really weird. I don't think I've ever, like, seen a reason for wanting to do that. And I'm honestly just at the conclusion that even in a blue-black threshold deck, Otterball Antics probably isn't worth it, because in those decks, you still want to have a relatively high number of creatures, which, like, that's the issue, is a lot of the cards that are in this blue-red spells deck are not bad cards, but this format just punishes you for playing a low amount of creatures and not, like, constantly contributing to the board. I guess what I'll do first here is just attack. There's a chance that he buffs up his token and wastes some, like, resources, in which, in that case, I don't have to use my second Hive Spine to kill his 1/1. He's probably thinking about chumping. Okay. Well, I just need to use the most amount of mana here. I mean, at this point, I might as well just remove his token. There's not many disadvantages for me fighting his token. Even if he had a Mabel's Metal, he wouldn't be able to trade. And a 1/1 counter here doesn't really advance my game state as much as just removing his body. Because maybe he has something that, like, having an additional body could be beneficial, right? Like, that's one of the only ways I think we could lose. Okay, well, now he has a red and a blue. That's really weird. So, I don't have enough mana to be able to do two things. I could just play a third Wolverine, but I don't think it contributes much. I guess if I attack with both, and he double blocks one, I could go Frilled Spark Shooter just to play for value. Since I'm not really in a position where I'm forced to, like, I'm not really losing anything. It's a low risk situation no matter what I do. Because even if he has, like, a piece of interaction, he's never going to out attrition me because all my cards are high costed. And, like, I don't think he is going to be able to, like, come back. Okay. Sure. Okay, so I didn't do any damage, which means I might as well just do this. It's honestly very funny that, like, the ability to fight a token doesn't come up as much as I thought it would at the beginning of the format. Because I thought tokens were a big part, but it's like most tokens are small. So really the only reason you're fighting a token is because there's really none of the other abilities are live, which is fine. Like, fighting his Otterball Antics was fine, just because it, like, you know, allowed us to push through more damage. But the only reason you would want to fight a token is if they have a broken Offspring token. Okay, well, this is actually really good, because this is the first time we're able to play 2 cards in one turn, in several turns. And I might as well remove that, because that's the only way he gets back into the game. Awesome. Okay, that's gone. Yeah, he's just cooked. And then even though, like, I don't have to play this here, I might as well. Because regardless of whether it dies to a chump attack, it is now a guaranteed way to turn this online. And it's also a game piece that contributes to the board for my Tree Guard duo. So worst case scenario, I could just buff up both guys, and then he has to block one. Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. Okay. This is a card that I actually think, like, if you're in the red-blue spells deck, you basically want to have this to be able to operate efficiently. Like, it's actually better than the gold card that is the, I don't know if you call it dual mana. It's not one of each, but it could be either or. This card is just so much better because at least it gives you additional resources and promotes you for playing spells. The 3-mana 2/2 red-blue creature that says when you cast a non-creature, put a 1/1 counter on it. It's just too understated for what you're getting. So now I think I just go all in, and if he lets something go unblocked, my Value Rally just ends the game. I can also just play the Baker in main phase 2. We'll see if he lets my steam path go through. If he lets the steam path go through, he's just cooked. Yeah, this guy's cooked. He already knows it. You know what they say. If it's not the goo, it's got to go, baby. And I've got the goo on field. I repeat, the goo is live. Mr. Beats by Ash 1000 Bands is on deck with the charged lemonade from Panera. Okay. I mean, I might as well just do this because I just don't want him to have that guy because it could allow him to get back in the game. I don't really care about losing my guy, but removing his game piece is key. And I can still just play the Baker. So we have 3 people. Baker in this bitch, eh? Heyo. Yeah, we're kind of nice for what, eh? See, this is the thing. It's like, this is a matchup where I might actually want to remove his blocker with a War Squeak. But as you saw in the first game, the reason I won is because the stats of his cards are just way worse than mine. Like, I didn't have to do anything special. I didn't even have, like, I only had 1 piece of removal towards the end of the game. It's just my game pieces traded way more efficiently than his, so we just automatically steamrolled him. I mean, I didn't even have a bomb. He had a bomb, you know? Like, he had the raccoon dude. The menace dude. And that just goes to show, like, why if you don't have a green deck in this format, you're just at a straight-up disadvantage. Like, no and ifs or buts. Like, the green cards just have so much better stats than the non-green cards. I'm almost willing to keep this. But I guess you can argue that since we're on the draw, the mulligan is, like, higher likely to fix the hand. Alright, well, it didn't fix the hand. We'll hope for the best. Alright, hand's fixed. We're so lit.
I fucking knew it. Oh!
I'm so glad I kept the moose. I'm just a greedy moose enjoyer and keep it at all costs. Alright, well, that's the first good card this guy has shown us all match. So I'm going to have to just remove that from the battlefield, bud. I think this is White's best uncommon. Card's just good in every deck. This card's also really underrated. A lot of people don't really pick this card that high. I've honestly got this like pick 14, pick 15 quite a bit of the time. And I think it's because like people are just dodging it, thinking it's a Valiant card. But what we've come to the conclusion about this format thus far is that the red-white deck isn't a Valiant deck. It's just an aggro deck, and you just want like your average card quality to be pretty high for it to be effective. And if you have some Valiant cards, awesome. Like, that probably makes your deck better. But you really can't sufficiently have a deck that's full Valiant because there's so few Valiant cards at low rarity. Alright, well, I don't really have any game actions to make. Given the circumstances, I could give him a 1-1 fish to kill his flyer because flying is pretty irritating here. Or I don't give him a fish and we're just trading like that. I think I care less about this than I do this. Like, this is actually, like, providing a lot of impact. I mean, plus I have a Wolverine, which could fight his token if it becomes an issue. Like, it's probably not, though. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen someone play a red, white, and blue deck. Maybe I have, and I just destroyed them. Because it's, like, not good. Okay, well, that's a cool card. This is one of the cards that I think you want to have in the red-blue deck. That's not good at all. Okay. Well, I have a delayed mana. This is really bad. I guess if I top deck a land next turn, I can accelerate to my Wolverine, which might allow me to get back into the game. Because then I have a decent blocker and I can get rid of his, what do you call it? I can get rid of his, offspring token. And I guess I'm mitigating 2 damage currently. If he has a removal for this, I'm just cocked though. Okay. Well, that was pretty good for us. See, this is what I'm saying about this deck. It's like, even if he had a good red-blue spells deck, he has cards like this, which are good cards in practice, but then in reality, you have way too many creatures to get advantage from cards like this, so they end up just being bad statted creatures that the other player's creatures trade, like, really well with. Just because he's representing, like, a lot of damage, I'm gonna go ahead and fight his offspring. I mean, I have 2 other Wolverine. One is at the bottom of the deck, but I have ways to shuffle. Okay, that's a lot of damage. So if he has a robber response, this is 5, 9. Well, no, I'm going to assume he does this. Okay, so everyone's buffed. That's 2. That's 3. That's 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, that's just game. Wow, I actually lost. That's crazy. To be fair, I stumbled, though. I did indeed stumble, which, like, drastically hurt us. I thought about taking out my Value Rally, but, like, I don't want to have that many creatures. I'm on the play, so it's, like, less scary. Alright, this hand is perfect. We've literally never seen this card all run. This card and this card, like, they just resonate with me because I always look at this card and I think it's the raccoon in the picture. Maybe it's a different raccoon. But yeah, this is one of my favorite cards. I just like the way that it plays because it kind of feels like a mini Omnath. If you guys aren't familiar with Omnath, I'm talking about the one that's 4 color, and the first time you play a land every turn you gain 4 life, and then the second time you gain 4 mana. And that's kind of like the same premise of what this does, because when you spend 4 mana, you get 3 life. When you spend 8 mana, you get to draw cards. And Omnath also draws a card when enters play. And this generates mana. So it's like kind of the same. It's literally the same exact effects that Omnath presents, but they are showcasing it to you or displaying it in a way that's different. Wow, that was such an insane top deck for us. That was actually so huge.
I
Okay, Warren Elder, that's great. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and develop this here. This gives us a little bit of padding, so if he ends up getting a removal to 1 mana dork, we have at least 1 guaranteed. Which is honestly hella nice. Harnesser of Storms, okay. We'll make green. I always look at this guy and I feel like he should be called a Johnny's Pathmaker, because who the hell is Alanya? But also, he kind of gives me more raccoon vibes than otter. Like, just like his head, it's kind of raccoon shaped. I do have 6 mana, which means that we could cycle this away and play Alanya. I'm in no rush to use this. I might as well wait. Okay, that's kind of nice. I mean, that's the only card that's going to beat us, so. Sweet. And now I have an attacker. Honestly, just the fact that this can give us life puts us, like, so far ahead in this game state. Because that's the only way this guy is beating us, is if he's able to, like, burst out damage. But since I've already, like, stabilized with, you know, pretty quintessential game pieces, and I have, like, the ability to reoccurring gain life, I don't know that this guy could even win. He definitely would have to remove my Mira, but the only removal we know that he has thus far is, that bat card, which is actually a really bad card in his deck. What is that called? Soul or something? Yeah, just to make green again. So this is the point where I could Wolverine, but I think once again it's just better to go Lania's, like, so we don't lose it. Alright, that was actually kind of nice. So now if we actually get in with damage, which I assume we won't, we will be able to play this in-ring Cutthroat main phase 2, which is cool. Hopefully he lets us get through. He's not, okay. Man, that was so close. Ooh, that's really nice, though. I'll make green again. So this could fight his token, and that just kills this guy. Nice. I've gained so much life, I don't know that he can come back. And if we top deck a 4-cost card, Offspring does count for expend, which is why there's like so much overlap. He's probably going to play the Sonar Strike on my Mira, but at this point I've already gained the mana I needed and the life. It's like relatively unlikely I would even get to draw 2 cards, so. Kind of just low risk regardless. I mean, I'm at 29, and he's playing an aggro deck. I say he's playing aggro, but he's playing 3 colors. It's just like the only way he can win is by playing beatdown. You're fucking kidding me. That's actually so toxic. That was incredibly toxic. Now I really want to beat this guy. You've got my attention, mister. Oh, now he's going to pull the bombs out of his ass. I got you. You were just hiding those bombs in your dirty little asshole. I get it. He doesn't know, boys. He doesn't know. I'm pushing through for the damage. Let's go.
Gotcha, bitch.
Bro, why would you not chump that? It's obvious the only reason I'm attacking with this is to deal 1 ping. I don't think there's a single combat trick that lets me beat your bird in combat. Is there? Yeah, because even if I had the overrun, the +3/+3. Oh, that's frustrating. I guess I need the moose right now. Would Valley Rally help me? If he has a bird in his hand, that's going to be frustrating. Well, shit. If he has a sonar strike, this is going to suck. But if I want to have any chance, I have to pressure. Of course, he had the sonar strike. Well played, sir.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty frustrating. At this point, the only way I could win is if I top deck a moose specifically next turn. But even then, it's going to be very slim. Now that he has this bomb. Wow, yeah, now I just can't win. That was disgusting. This guy's deck is garbage, but the fact that he's just forcing 5 rares into his deck and just drew them while I'm bricked out. Starfall Invocation is literally just like a deck itself. Like, just having this card on its own just steals you the match quite often, especially in Sealed. During the Arena Play-In Qualifier, I actually played 10 Seals before I qualified, which is really bad for me because in Modern Horizons 3 Sealed, I actually had a 76% win rate, and I won 4 Modern Horizons 3 boxes in the win-a-box. But in this format, it took me 10 tries, and most of the tries I either got 0 or 2 wins, and because I just kept ending up with decks that I didn't have enough cards among my 5 colors to play a single 2-color combination. I had to play 3 colors. And the one deck that I got that was actually a coherent 2-color pair deck, it was a red-green deck. And I went against 2 players in a row who had a dog shit deck, but they had a Starfall Invocation that fully wiped all my game pieces, and I just couldn't come back. Yeah, that's pretty frustrating. Honestly, I don't even think our deck's that bad. I'm just been straight up negging gems recently because this format's just like, there's not a lot of like skill expression in the draft itself, and I usually gain my edge in the drafting portion. Most of the skill expression is within the gameplay, and the gameplay is not that complex depending on what deck you get. I'm gonna go put up this packaging that my mom gave me from this food. BRB. All right, we're back, boys. The boat is back, baby. And we're popping off this time. All right, let me wipe my glasses off. All right, I'm feeling hype, boys. We got this. It's GG. We're about to pop off. I'm about to show you what a real what a real BLOOMBURROW jet looks like IRL. I'm honestly so excited for the playing weekend coming up on Saturday. It's gonna be really fun. I've just been putting in so much work, and I know I'm gonna convert this time. You know, it has to be your time eventually. All right, welcome back to another best of 3 BLOOMBURROW draft on the channel, and we're starting off with a pretty decent pack thus far. So our rare is Iridescent Vine Lasher, which is a pretty good card. You can offspring it, and then it has landfall where you deal 1 damage to your opponent every single time, which is cool. There's also a Long River there's also a Long River Lurker, which I don't mind, and Brambleguard Veteran. The best cards in the pack are definitely these two, and then this Head of the Homestead. But Polywallop is not that far behind. Probably just going to start Iridescent Vine Lasher here. Yeah, let's go ahead and start with the Iridescent Vine Lasher. It's a pretty good card. Okay, moving on to pack 2, we see another 2 rares here. We have Jackdaw Savior, which is 3 mana 3/1 flying. When this enters, or another creature you control with flying dies, or whenever this creature or another creature you control with flying dies, return another creature card with lesser mana value from the graveyard to the battlefield. So that's a pretty strong card. There's also a Phineas, which is an insane card. There's also a Phineas, which is an insane card, but it is a 2-color card, which is a little bit risky, but it is in the best color pair. Probably going to go with Jackdaw Savior, I would assume. Phineas is also just insane, though. Fuck it. Let's go Jackdaw. I want to stay open. I was about to say because they are both in the same deck, but I do think that this card is more flexible. It does have to be another creature with flying, but that could be black-white. Unfortunately, Arena is bugging right now, so I can't hover over the cards for you guys to see a zoomed up version. So hopefully that doesn't piss anyone off too much. But there's a Carrot Cake in this pack, which is just a good follow-up to our Jackdaw Savior. Other than that, there's not really a lot going on here, so I'm just going to take the Carrot Cake. This is currently the highest win rate common in the set by quite a bit. But personally, I think it's really only good in 2 decks, either the Bats deck or the Rabbits deck, but it is a really strong card in both of those decks. So this pack doesn't really have a lot of things I'm too interested in. I guess in red, there's the Brambleguard Captain, which is a pretty good card. It's a 4 mana 2/3 that can buff someone up by 2 unless you buff him up. There's also a Longstalk Brawl, which is just a good card. I mean, if you get into green, your creatures are just going to be bigger than your opponent's creatures, which means that it should be doing pretty good work most of the time. So I'm probably going to do that, considering white goes best with green. Okay, well, nothing here that really signals out to me. Nothing that really goes with the 2 strong white cards that we have thus far. I guess the best card in this pack is a Pawn Prophet. If I want to stay open, I probably take that. A pick 5 Pawn Prophet is not a signal by any means, but it is another green card, and I would prefer to play green if possible. Mind Whisker is a really good one, but I think it's really mainly good. Mind Whisker is a good one, but I think it's really mainly playable within the black-blue space, and we're not really in a position to do that. Okay, so there's not really a lot left in this pack. This is a bunch of pretty low-value cards here. There is a Junkblade Bruiser, which is one I'm actually pretty happy to have. In legitimately just any green deck, I think preferably any of the green decks besides green-white, but even in green-white, it's still playable. So I'm probably just going to take that there. So we've got blue and red cards. I don't know which one we're more likely to play at this point, but the blue cards aren't cards I'm really looking to play if we're in the frog space. So I'll probably just go with the red card here. Playful Shub is a good one. I think there's a lot of 1 toughness creatures to target that make this card worth it, especially with the offspring mechanic being so strong. Okay, well, we've had to pivot quite a bit, but seeing a Brazen Collector pick 8 is a decent signal that red might be the route to go here. So I'm just going to pick that up because there's not a lot of interesting things here. Okay, well, I guess I'm probably going to take this Agate Assault. I like this a little bit better than the Frilled Spark Shooter because I want to have at least like 4 removal spells in my red-green decks if that's what we're going to be doing. And these Frilled Spark Shooters, I'm fine playing, but they often go very late, and you can very easily pick one up at the end of pack 3. Okay, well, I guess we're just going to take this Whisker Quill Scribe. This is actually a fine one to play. We do already have a Longstalk Brawl, so we have one form of targeting, so that's kind of nice. And there's really nothing left for us here. I'm not going to take the Builder's Talent. I think that's really a low chance to be put in. I'll take the Might of the Meek, though, because I do already have a mouse, and it is possible that we could be red-white. And then I guess I'm just going to take this Thornplay guy. Ooh, we get a 15-pick Scales of Shale. That's kind of cool. Maybe we're supposed to go Lizards. All right, moving on to pack number 2 here. There's honestly not a lot of things I'm interested in, and overall, I think this is just somewhat of a low power level pack. What types do we have so far? So we have one Lizard. I think we're definitely primarily red by the signals that we've been sent, but I would like to be red-green with the cards we have. I'm probably interested in the Bright Blade Stout, or I'm probably just interested in the Bright Blade Stout or the Take Out the Trash. Take Out the Trash is definitely safer. I mean, I don't have but one. I do have 2 total Raccoons so far. You know, the Junkblade Bruiser is a late game one, so it's not as like much of a inherent synergy. But this card's just fine in any red deck, and I don't know that I'm playing white yet to grab the Stoat. Okay, well there is a Mabel's Medal, which is a good reason to be white. At the same time, I don't feel like I really have like a lot of the good incentives to be going down the red-white aggro route. Like, Carrot Cake just isn't really a good one to have in the red-white aggressive deck. There is an Alania's, which I do like quite a bit, and then there's also a 3-tree Root Weaver and a Brambleguard Captain. Yeah, this pack is overall just has like a lot of good cards that I think most people would be happy seeing. I'm just going to go with the Alania's because I think it's going to fit into whatever deck we want to go into. And this is probably one of my favorite red cards. This is probably one of my favorite red commons thus far. Actually, maybe I'm going to take the Brambleguard Captain. I'm going to take a risk on it because we could be red-white, and it is a mouse, and it's not that much worse, in my opinion, to the Alania's. Okay, well, our options are definitely becoming limited here. There is a Mouse Trapper if we want to try to do the red-white thing. And we do have a total of 2 mice thus far alongside the Might of the Meek. There's also just a Polywop. There's also just a Polywop, which I think is a fine card to play. I actually really like this in the red-green space, specifically because it triggers your expend, which is just nice. Yeah, maybe I'm going to take the Mouse Trapper here. I'm going to see if we can play white. I do want to play this rare. It is a pretty good card. Oh, well, I'm out of white here. I'm taking this Wandertail Mentor. That is a great sign for us to play red-green. The White Dream has kind of died at this point. I would like to play Jackdaw Savior, but I think that Wandertail Mentor is just a good signal that we're doing the right thing by going red-green. And the cards we have thus far are just better supported if we go red-green. Like the Bruiser is good in that space. The Brambleguard Captain can go either way. Longstalk Brawl is better in this space. And then we can pick up this Tree Guard Duo here, which is, you know, just a good card to have. I think this is a good curve filler in any green deck. And one thing that I would be taking note of here is that 4-drops are very, very common. Like green and red have a lot of good 4-drops that are kind of interchangeable. It doesn't really matter which ones you get as long as you get a decent amount of them for the red-green deck. And then we end up seeing a pick 6 Take Out the Trash, which is great. That's our second one, and we have a total of 3 Raccoons thus far. So that's pretty nice. If that wasn't here, I probably would take this Conduct Electricity. This is actually a card that in the red-green decks, I'm actually fine playing. I think the card's pretty decent when you have cards like a Wandertail Mentor or the 3-tree guy who allows you to ramp. Okay, well, this is actually a little bit difficult. We've got the Flame Cache Gecko and a second Longstalk Brawl. considering we already have 2 Take Out the Trash, I'm probably just going to go with the Flame Cache Gecko, because this deck can be pretty aggressive. Like, we already have a Brazen Collector, which pushes through early. Wandertail Mentor can push through, so not bad by any means. And then we're left with a Whiskertail Scribe or a Rush Shield Rampager. I mean, we only have 3 cards that are 4 and above, so Rush Shield might actually be fine. This is a Raccoon, and it does have synergy with the 2 Take Out the Trash, so that could be okay. Yeah, Whiskertail Scribe just isn't the greatest. Like, we only have 1 Longstock Brawl to target it, so. And then here, I think I just obviously take this Head of the Homestead. It's just a decent card in any green deck. Not the best here, but it has synergy with the Tree Guard duo. And if we get, like, a Valley Rally, that would definitely make this card way better. Ooh, and we see a pick 10 Alania's Pathmaker. That's awesome. We'd love to see it. Makes me feel less bad about not taking that previous Alania's over the Brambleguard Captain, because now we have 1 of each. And there's really nothing here that we're going to be playing. Alright, going into pack number 3 here. We already have 15 playables, which is a decent space to be in. And we have a bomb of a pack. This is probably the best pack that we've seen out of all 3. Our rare here is Fecund Greenshell, which if you haven't seen this card before, this is essentially Nadu Winged Wisdom 2.0. Every time you play a creature that has more toughness than its power, you get to look at the top card of your deck, and if it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield, and if not, it's added to your hand. And this is arguably the best creature in the entire format because it's an infinite value engine. It also just has reach, and when you have 10 or more lands, everything gets +2/+2. There's also a Rabid Gnaw, so since red was going late, we might be able to get that back, or at least the Steam Path Charger or the Baker's Bane. But there's a lot of good things we could get back there. Okay, well this pack has some pretty good options for us as well. We have the Bark Knuckle Boxer, which is probably Green's premier 2-drop in pretty much any deck, but especially the Expend deck where we're at, because it is a Raccoon, and, you know, we already are playing that theme, so that's great for us. The Brambleguard Captain, I actually wouldn't be dissatisfied if I had to take that too, and Paw Patch Formation has turned out to be a pretty solid card overall, because it gives you enchantment removal without having to really sacrifice much. Okay, well, we see a Harnesser of Storms, which is a decent card. It's not that great, but we do actually have like an abnormal amount of non-creature spells, so it actually could be decent. Yeah, we have 5 non-creature spells to relatively easily trigger this. There's also a Conduct Electricity, which could be fine as well. Yeah, I just think that, like, overall, there's a low chance that we're going to be playing this Harnesser of Storms, whereas we might play this Conduct Electricity if we're low on playables, so I'll probably take it here. I think you could also convince me to take the Bell, though, because the Bell is good if you want to splash a bomb. It just makes your mana better. And I think a lot of good players have come to the consensus that you just want to replace one of your lands with a Bell, and just go 16 lands, and it can find you what you want. Okay, this pack has us another Brazen Collector, which is great. We actually have a more aggressively slanted, more low-to-the-ground red-green deck, which is kind of cool because you don't always get those. And I think we're looking to be in a good space here. So we actually end up seeing a Balin the Haymaker, which is a pretty cool card. It allows you to tap tokens to draw cards, but it's mainly only worth it if you're in green-white, where you have the tokens. I'm going to go with this Valley Rally here, which is actually a really nice card for us to see because we're actually more low to the ground, like I just said. So the AoE buff is going to be great, especially with the Head of the Homestead. And then this pack doesn't really have anything I'm too interested in. A lot of people are going to hate me for this, but I'm probably just taking this Gev Scaled Scorch because it's a rare and, like, I just want it for the collection. Because I think the card's really good and constructed. And Heaped Harvest, you just don't want to play outside of a dedicated green-black deck. Oh my gosh, boys.
I fucking knew it.
Literally, Hugs Grizzly Guardian pick 7. Somebody pick up the phone because Dave's not here, man. Holy crap.
Yes, I see.
Good news, everyone. Pick 7 hugs. The latest recorded hugs ever in Bloomborough history. We are ecstatic, and I'm so glad I made the right decision of committing to red-green. All right, well, I'm going to go with this Revshaw duo here. That's actually just a really nice card I'm excited to pick up. And then from our original pack, unfortunately, we don't get back the Rabidnaw, but that was pretty much expected. Steam Path Charger is still fine, though. The aspect of it being able to be used as a 4-drop as an alternative cost is really nice for our expend theme, and then we're probably not going to get anything else here, but our deck is basically complete, so it doesn't really matter. We'll take Scales of Shale because it's one of the most based cards in the format. Alright, cool. Well, looks like this is going to be our deck, which I'm not dissatisfied with at all. I think we're in a really good space, and picking up that Fecund Green Shell and the Hugs Grizzly Guardian in pack 3 really made this deck come together, considering we didn't get to see that many of the lower rarity, high-costed cards. You know, stuff like the Moose, stuff like the Wolverine that's 5 cost that I always seem to see. But getting Green Shell and Hugs in the same deck is absolutely absurd. So, firstly, we got to change the picture of our deck to Green Shell. Then we got to change the name of our deck to Mario Kart Green Shell. That way, we have the highest chance to see our Fecund Green Shell in the draft games. And then from that point, we're just automatically guaranteed to win. So I think this is just going to be the deck here. So I think this is just going to be the deck. We ended up with a pretty nice one. Only 1 Wandertail Mentor and no 3 Tree Scribe. It is, I think, the one that's the one that is the 2-mana 1/3 mana dork would have been great in this deck, but still getting 1 is fine. And we really make up for that by having really high impact 2-drops. 2 Brazen Collector and a Flame Cache Gecko are nothing to be dissatisfied about, and I feel like the Valley Rally is going to come in super clutch in this deck. Overall, the deck looks pretty dang nice, and I'm excited to see how this goes. So let's go ahead and hop into these games. May the Hugs and the Green Shell be with us, brother. All right, hopping into match number 1 here. Going to be starting off on the play. So we do have a 2-mana play with our 2 green sources. The issue is this is actually a predominantly red deck, surprisingly. I think this is legitimately the first time I've ever had a red-green deck where it was more predominantly red than green. So that's kind of interesting, but I think I have to mulligan this for that reason. Okay, well now we don't have 2 green. Okay, so well now we still have 2 lands, but we do get a red and a green with a Wandertail Mentor. So that's pretty dang nice, and being on the play makes this quite a bit better. So we'll throw back the Head of the Homestead. Throw down our green to establish our dominance as a green mage. Wandertail on 2. Wandertail on UA. Now, next turn, if we can get in with the Wandertail, we're going to be able to go Flame Cache, so that's really nice. Yes, sir. So, yeah, I could do that, but at the same time, I could just play both of these and trigger my expend, right? Does it really matter? If I get in for the 2, and then I do this, I'll have the mana to do it anyway, so I guess I attack. Hopefully he doesn't use his... Yeah, he had that. Okay. That's fine. Alright, we'll just throw this down. I mean, regardless, it didn't really change things that much. I wasn't going to play around that. Okay, sweet. I didn't really need another green mana. This is something we could hold to loot. But since this cycles, I probably don't need to do that. Yeah, I think let's just go in for the 2. So now when we play this, we can actually pay the cycling cost, which is kind of cool. See if he negates here. He might use a counter spell. Dazzling Denial. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I could have played my mana and played around it, but I wanted to hold it to Rummage just because our hand was so low costed. So, I mean, that's the price you pay, but that's fine. Like, I still have the ability to cycle, and I think that was a fair play to make. Like, him negating that, if he's going to negate something later, is way better for us. Because the reality is, with our deck, we want to be tapping out every turn anyway. So at some point, he would have gotcha'd us. Oh, yeah, that's a really good top deck. Because I can actually target the Whisker Quill, the Whisker Quill, and then I'll be able to Rummage. Just get rid of the Playful Shove, maybe. Yeah, this guy's got some cool lands. I always love these. I think they're called the Secret Lair, maybe? I think it might be from the Unfinity set, but I'm not sure. Someone let me know. Alright, so we'll buff that guy up. Just get rid of this because we're using to cycle anyway. Okay, it's a land, not great, but we can cycle next turn if he doesn't kill this. I might as well push through. Okay, he's going to trade. Sure. Still have a removal, and we have a lot of good top decks. There's no reason not to just hold on to this. Honestly, a Sazcap Sprue would have been great in this deck. Just for this exact reason. Like, the one thing I think that you guys should pay attention to in this format is, although the fixing is bad, if you can, you still want to play it. You want to have ways to stop yourself from flooding in this format, because flooding is just so bad. Like, in Modern Horizons 3, it wasn't like this at all. And a big component to that was that because there were so many fetch lands, not only were you getting the land sources you needed, you would be using so many throughout the game that you would be reducing the amount of bad top decks you had, which is something that I much prefer in a draft format. So I can't play both of these cards. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and kill that. Wait, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to develop. He's the 18. I think I'd rather develop here. And then if I attack, he will be forced to go ahead and block with his Head of the Homestead anyway. Okay, he's just going to take it. That probably means he has a removal regardless. Fekun, Green Shell, or Hugs would be insane here. Okay, he's just going to pass, which makes me think he has a counter. It's probably very likely. If I do this, I will be able to trigger Expend regardless of what happens, which would be nice. I think that's pretty worth it. Just get both my guys trample. Yes, sir. And then now since I buffed this guy up, someone else gets +3, which is cool. I don't really want to trade this for 2 tokens, though, when this is a reoccurring value engine, because it could be used on one of these guys, so I'm going to buff him up. I mean, if he has another Sonar Strike, he has it, but I have to bait those out. Okay. Sweet. I mean, I'd much rather do that deal all day. Salvation Swan, well, that's a really good one. Fortunately for us, he doesn't have a target on field, so that was actually really favorable. I think he kind of misplayed there. He should have just taken the damage so that he could bounce his Head of the Homestead. Like, there's no reason not to. All right, that was disgusting. Yeah, that was super disgusting. This card's insane. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to win this now because this card's just so disgusting, man. I guess if I top deck Conduct Electricity, I could out it. Oh, and he gets to trigger that again? That's ridiculous. That's not good for us, boys. That is not good. Alright, well, I gotta do this. He has 1 white. Okay, so he can't have a counter. Get rid of that, dude. Just pass here. Could have tried to sneak in damage. He could have just went in for the 1. Probably just going to put 1/1s on everything. If he does that, I won't be able to play Conduct Electricity to kill him, right? Or no, I can. Okay, he's going to draw. Sweet. You just draw 1, right? Ooh, that's really bad. I think he's just got it at this point because he probably has like some mechanism to untap. I'm just gonna attack with this guy, trade for his token, remove game pieces. It's like, okay. It's not really beneficial to us, but I mean, we're breaking out anyway. I'll play a land just because if I top deck Hugs, I want to be able to press X is all. I don't even know if Hugs gets us back in, though, at this point. Yeah. I mean, this card is just so unfair. The one time that he has these shenanigans, we have a deck that doesn't have, like, plentiful reach. There's so much secret reach in this format. When I mean secret reach, it's not a secret at all. It's kind of like that South Park episode where they're in the closet and they're just like having a bunch of people go into the closet and it's like not a secret. It's like, Tom Cruise is in the closet. And then they send in R. Kelly and they're like, R. Kelly is in the closet. And then I take out my gun. You know, that was such a goated episode of South Park. Only OGs remember that, man. But that's kind of how it feels right now because like everything just has reach and it's like, oh, it's such a secret. It's like, no, there's just so many things that should not have reach. Because like their character does not depict someone who has flying or reach, but they just do anyway. And for some reason we don't have any of those cards, so we're gonna go to the next game. Like, I mean, I just don't want to show him any more of my cards. There's no way I can come back. He just gained too much value. Very unfortunate. Didn't get to showcase any of the bombs that game, but hopefully we can this game. I think honestly I just need to get on board early, and I just had a bad start. I don't think that there's anything I really want to side in here. You could maybe argue for this Bumbleflower's Pot, but I still think this card is just terrible, especially with how proactive our deck is. Yes, we do have the like the mana system to probably be able to use the effect at some point, but I don't think it's like as good as just starting with Brazen Collector and just pushing through and trying to win that way. I think that's more likely. All right, we need to play some Green Shell Mario Kart, boys. Let's show them what they say. Let's show them what happens whenever you get in front of Beats by Ash on lap 3 in Delfino Plaza. We go Green Shell all day, baby. Ooh. Okay, well, I don't have a green mana. Green is my secondary source, though. And if he doesn't have an answer to this, I will float to 4 and cheat out the Brambleguard Captain, which is actually pretty fine. This is probably the 2-drop we'd like to start with the most outside of Wandertail, which, like, obviously. So that's why I'm going to keep this. Because if I'm going to beat this guy, I need to get on board early. And the Alanias is great for that. Assuming he doesn't have a Sonar Strike. If he has a Sonar Strike, we might be kind of cooked. Okay, we get a green, so it's fine. Sweet. Okay, so we floated our red. He could just have the bird counterspell, though. Considering he'd have the bird counterspell, I'm going to establish this because I just care more about Alanias. Okay. Yeah, I'd just rather play Alanias because it can get us closer to our bomb. Sweet. Get to take out the trash. That's awesome. I could potentially just play my Junk Blade, so we'll just go in here. Yeah, I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. If he has it, he has it. Wow, he had another counter. That sucks. This guy's just had back-to-back counters against our Go Big deck. It's like, fuck me, man. Go in. For the 3rd time, please. Salvation Swan. I guess at least he doesn't have a white, which might mean something. Does he have another counter? Okay. No 3rd counter. We're actually maybe getting to play the game. Cool. Kill my guy in the instep. Just creating a fish. Okay. Fishy. Fishy. Just gonna pass. That's really sussy Baka of this guy. I mean, I have no way to draw cards, so I might as well play this. Well, I guess I had to take out the trash. Okay. So now if I attack here, and he flashes something in or uses a combat trick, I'll be able to respond with take out the trash and give someone +1/+1. Sure. So even if he does something, I'm going to give him trample. Okay, you're using 2 shore-ups. That's actually somewhat beneficial for us because, like, we don't really want to discard. Okay, well now I want to discard. Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to do that, though. Given the circumstance he doesn't control a bird, I definitely do this because now I'm representing the potential to use my mana to pay for his counter. Oh yeah, that's just irritating. Rip. Yeah, that's pretty frustrating. This guy's curve's just been absurd. Counterspell, combat shred, protect your guy. Gosh, this is frustrating. Ooh, that's dirty, brother. I'm nice right now. I'm about to show you guys the power of hugs. Grizzly Guardian, let's go, baby. Let's go. Yes, Sirski, baby.
Gotcha, bitch.
And there's really no reason to attack with anyone. Eddie Merc really slowed down the heat. But next turn we can go both of our cards, which is nice. And Hugs is just an auto kill on sight. Ooh, yeah, that kind of solidifies it for us. Like, we're going to be able to push through so much. And I don't really care about Hugs at this point, so I think it's fair to just put the 1/1 and trample on him and just go face. We'll do this first so we can pay. Yes, sir. Hugs in this bitch. Hugs in this bitch, eh? So what could he do here? I guess there's a way he could discard. What would he be doing to give +3/+3? Mabel's Metal. So if he gets +2/+1, that's 4. And then that's 4. So I can choose to kill one or the other. I mean, I don't really care. I think I care more about the flying. Like, because I can always just Agate Assault, whatever. I'd rather fight like this because it's a higher likelihood I kill something. Oh. I actually just get through. That was interesting. Yeah, that was really weird. Did he just bait me? What if he actually just has a second... He has that Starfall Invocation? That'd be so frustrating. Oh my gosh, are you fucking kidding me?
Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Wow, that's so frustrating that he had that, dude. Why? Why am I bricking, bro? At that point, why didn't he just block with everyone? That's so freaking frustrating, dude. The amount of times I've lost to a person with a shitty deck but had a Starfall Invocation is like so much. I need 2 green if I want a Fecund green shell, so... That's gross. That's so gross. He's already used 2 shore-ups. The likelihood of him having another is just really low. Bro, what? How does this guy just have everything? That's really frustrating. Oh my gosh, we're him. We're literally him. Bro, do not have a counterspell. If you have a counterspell, you're literally working for the devil. Okay, so he doesn't have a bird, so unless he specifically has another spell guyer, it's confirmed. Well, no, he could have the frog. He's already used a Long Reverse Pull and a Dazzling Denial and a Spell Guy. He's using 3 counter spells. If you're running more than 3 counter spells, you are just a bad deck builder. Like, you never do this. Let's be real here. Oh my gosh, I actually got to do it. What the hell? Well, that was cool. Well, Fecund Green Shell is a cool card. I've never gotten to have it sit on the board for more than 1 turn, so that's something, I guess. The fact this guy has had 3 counter spells at the exact precise moment is really frustrating. Of course. I saw that coming a mile away. I mean, I knew this guy would just top deck something and pull it out of his ass, you know? At that point, you might as well just pull the Hulk out of your ass. Am I right? Like on some Death and Return of Superman type beat, you know? Oh, cool. That's awesome. I love this deck. Can I get my Valley, my AoE buff, please? Dude! What? Dude, what the fuck? This is so frustrating. What are the fucking chances of this happening? That's actually just so frustrating. I mean, I'm never really just doing that, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I can. I need to be able to push through damage in, but yeah, I knew this is just gonna keep fucking happening, bro. Oh, what do you know? It's a fucking real card, but not really. So at this point, I think I'm willing to just attack. I mean, if he has another interaction, he has another interaction. But if it's a Valley Rally, nah, it's still not game because he can make a token. We'll go to 4. I'll only be doing 3. I don't even know really what gets me out of this situation. Conduct Electricity trades 2 for 1, but still. I need to be able to trade away a game piece here. So we're going to go in with the Brazen Collector. So my guy's always dying, so it doesn't really matter. Wow, I actually traded away with the game piece. That's crazy. Steam Path Charger would be great. Ooh, that's actually nice. Please don't have a counter for this, sir. Please, sir. Please don't have it. You're not that guy. Of course. I mean, do I want to draw that? I mean, I don't really have better creatures than that. Surprising. Bro, what? What is this? This guy's literally just has every perfect answer. That's actually so frustrating. This guy has beat down my Fecund Green Shell and my Hugs, and somehow he's still standing? Like, where's this gas? Like, how are you just pulling this out of your ass, bro? Like, this guy had such a terrible hand, But because of the sequence in which he drew it in, he actually just like cuckolded us. I know you guys have heard about cuckolds in the movies, but you're actually seeing one firsthand. This is what people like this do. They just sit around and fuck around and just cuckold. They do cuckold shit, you know? Alright, bro, I'm just resolving my expend. Calm your tits, bro. You don't have to go watch me in the closet with my bark knuckle, bro. I will clap your cheeks. It's fine. Bro, what? Are you kidding me?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Bruh. How much of a high roller is this guy? Like, he literally is just drawing perfect. And that's exactly what the last person we played against did. Like, this is just insane. Like, wow, these people are just drawing so insane. And, like, I have a good deck. Like, this makes no sense. If I attack with everyone, he has to let one damage through. If I get him to 1, though, Playful Shove could end the game. But I am, like, I have the potential to Valley Rally here. Valley Rally costs 3. So I technically don't have the ability to spend 4 mana with what's available in deck. So I think it is just correct to do this. I need to draw Playful Shove or Valley Rally. If his last card in hand is action again, that's going to be really frustrating. Okay. I'm currently beating him 3 game pieces to 2. Like, how much gosh does this guy have left? He just has everything. Okay, I got you. My bad. Sorry for existing, guys. I mean, he's probably just going to tap this, just keep making tokens, and just wall up, and I just die. Treasure token? Okay. I probably wouldn't make a treasure token. I just make a chum blocker. It just seems too relevant here. Even if I have a Valley Rally, it's just game. Right? Nice, bro. I mean, I guess if he doesn't have any action here, maybe I can win, but I don't know. There's no way. Wow. That was crazy. I literally had the deck stacked against me. Like, that guy's sequence was just absurd. I legitimately think we might want to put this Bumbleflower's pawn in because he has like real things. Like, he just does no action, right? And he has like legit things I need to answer. Yeah, because this is the same guy that has that 4/5 bird. But Valley Rally would just be so cracked. Yeah, I don't know. I think the deck's good. I think we just had a bad draw. Like, his draw was just insane. Like, the sequence of plays he had compared to us was absurd. And just the way that, like, our hand played out. Like, we really low rolled. Trample's pretty good. I feel like a lot of my guys already have trample though. Yeah, I'm probably cool on it, to be honest. I think our deck's fine. I think our opponent is just like rolling on the river. At least now we know like all the counter spells that he has. There's basically no way to play around what he has because we know that he has like the bird counter. We know he has the 4-mana and the fact he's running 4+ counter spells, it just tells me he's a really bad deck builder. Okay, well this is pretty bad, but our opponent is a really reactive player, so maybe we could get away with it because this does cycle. I mean, if we get a green, we just win the game, right? It genuinely benefits us to just not do anything the first couple turns. He 100% has the counter. Oh, I was done doing that. Okay. Land? Nah, okay, we need to draw land next turn. Let's draw green, please. So bad. We need the green so bad. Oh my gosh.
I fucking knew it! Oh!
No counter spell. Okay, that's good to know. And he has Fountain Port. Wow, okay. I guess I can Agate Assault if I need to. Milling too, so he probably is looking for a white source, I would assume. I probably just save my hugs to dig for gas at this point. It's the fact that at any time he could play Starfall Invocation, it's so sus. But he is 2 white away, right? Like he needs another white. If he's holding the white, he's actually absurd. Okay. If we draw land here, we're huge. I have the Valley Rallies. This is probably fine. He has 2 planes now, so he could Starfall, which is Sussy Baka. Probably a shore up, I would assume. Surprised he has that in his own deck. What the fuck? God, this could easily come up. I don't want to run out of gas. Oh, I'm so glad I did that. If I force him to Starfall Invocation, I'm just such a winner. Yeah, I'm not gonna play these cards because, like, I already know he's got a Starfall Invocation. Okay. Alright, well, I'm getting lands for hugs. I'm not putting this out until he Starfalls. Like, he's going to have it. We already know. He's going to Starfall, bring back his Eddie Merc, because this guy's such a degen. Okay, he wouldn't do that if he had it, I guarantee you. Well, this is actually really nice. So if I do this, if I gift him a Foon, I keep that. Let's go. Wow, that was so close, bro. That guy was such a high roller. I don't even know how we did that, boys. Oh my Ziz shit, son. We out here. Wow, Fekun Green Shell really beat Himothy for real, for real. Dude, that guy is a Himothy, like, on Jase. Man, I wish we could just put another creature in the stack, but we just didn't get another one. It's crazy. I have 16 creatures, and I'm like, can I have another creature? Because that guy just, like... Starfall Invocation might be the most unfair piece of removal in the set. I'm actually going to move that up on my tier list from our experiences. Because, like, I've just had... Maybe it's antidotal evidence. In fact, it is antidotal evidence. But I've had such negative experiences against Starfall Invocation that I think even though it doesn't go in the best white deck, which is green-white or red-white... If you can play a control deck and have a Starfall Invocation, it's probably better than a lot of the aggro decks because you have so much card draw to find it. That's just unplayable. Okay, that's playable. Very playable. Okay, he's starting off with white. Okay. Boxer, turn 2. Now, if I can get him for damage, Flame Cache Gecko will get in. Okay. I'm just gonna do that. I think that card's just really impactful. Like, Flame Cache Gecko isn't doing a lot for me because I'm not picking anything off. But I do know that he could have a token, so he's playing green-white. So this is actually better to just keep in hand. Hop to it. Okay, well, I'm glad I kept that. I'm about to hop to it, boy. I mean, gaining the 2 mana wasn't doing anything except letting me cycle. I might as well do this. That's frustrating. But at least I'm the person who's pressuring, so it's not as, like, negatively impactful. I can't even push through. This might be the best turn to just do this. Because I need to find a bomb like Hugs or, what's his face? That's fine. I mean, it's no Fekun Green Shell, but it's fine. I think I'm actually willing to get rid of Rush Shield Rampager. Well, but Rush Shield Rampager's actually kind of good. Like, he's already pretty low. Oh, yeah, that's nice. And honestly, what's really good about this is if I go Bramble Guard, I'm triggering here and I'm triggering here. And if I buff this guy up, that's an insane synergy. I didn't even realize that because I've never had Captain and Boxer at the same time. If you do this, it makes an indestructible attacker on the turn it's played that is guaranteed to demand a resource, right? Like, they're going to have to block it. It's 5 damage. Especially the guy's already at 14. And I think there were some merits to, like, rummaging with this guy on his end step, getting rid of this. But I think just because he's already at 14, I already have kind of a wall. I think it's fair for me to just keep it because it's, like, 3 to 4 turn clock with that ability. Oh, wow. That's disgusting. Well, that's nice. I mean, you're tapped out, bro. I don't know why you're hovering your hand. I wish there was a setting in this game to turn off your opponent hovering over stuff, because sometimes it can just be like kind of frustrating. So what was the purpose of that? Did he like assume my guy had trample? I think it was worth it to play the land there. Like, I want to have 6 mana. Yeah, this is the most common bomb that I see, to be honest. Wow, that was so huge. I understand why Carrot Cake is a high win rate card, but I think it's honestly overhyped. Like, it's only good in this green-white deck. Like, this guy's playing 3 colors. And honestly, I just think rarely you get to be in the green-white space if you're going against good people. Because most of the, like, green and white are already the 2 best colors. And a lot of their best cards, like, for example, Carrot Cake, are only good within this space. And those cards don't pull you into the deck. Like, you could argue Carrot Cake, like, could be a decent thing to start with if it's, like, a bad first pack. But ultimately, you'd prefer not to. Do I want to just rummage to find an answer to this because it's just clocking? I mean, now that he has this Beza, this is, like, less beneficial to me. I think, yeah, now that he has a Beza, I actually am down to get rid of this. Okay, that's kind of cool. Beza is such a high-key fucked up card. What if I just push this up? I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. Yes, great. So now we're basically a turn ahead of him on the board. We have 1 guaranteed resource with 6 mana. So, like, over 70% of our deck can allow us to double spell and get a 1/1 counter on this. And then if we draw, like, the 5% that are our Fecund Green Shell or our Conduct Electricity or the Head of the Homestead, those are cards that I'm willing to just sacrifice not playing this because they're just so high impact. So there's basically like a 57% chance, considering it's 43% chance to hit a land, that I'll be able to double spell or like advance my game state enough to where it's just GG. Okay. I mean, that doesn't really mean anything to me because I was already on a 2 current clock anyway. Like, this doesn't change the clock at all. Conduct Electricity would have been such a dirty top deck here. Okay, so I have to block 4 people, which is honestly fine. So I think it just comes down to, like, does he have a pump spell next turn? The fact this gives somebody trample is just so huge. Like, the fact you can target, like, he has trample himself. And I think this card's underrated. It's good in any red deck. Because, like, expend is inherently a thing that you really want to be doing in any deck. Even better here because we're really caring about expending. But this forces him to do that, which is great. And I mean, now, like, a Valley Rally doesn't just kill me. If I survive 1 turn, it's just a really high likelihood he's just dead because of my potential trample. If I draw a 4-costed card or above, or a way to spend 4 mana, like, it's just wraps next turn, right? So it's like, do you have a buff or not? And if you're sitting here taking your time counting it out, I doubt you do. Everyone knows math is for blockers, so just attack and let me figure it out. What if he has Might of the Meek, though? He could also have the green spell, the 2-mana one. Yeah, what is that one called? Overprotect. Okay, so he doesn't have it. Overprotect is a card I like a lot. It's the 1 in a green instant that gives someone +3/+3 trample and hexproof. It just does a lot for you. Okay, well, I think this is just game sheerly by the fact that it allows us to spend the amount of mana we need to, but also I'm getting rid of 2 blockers, so. I'm triggering 4 things. That's funny. I've never even had 4 expend things on the stack. That's hilarious.
Gotcha, bitch.
Dude, that was just cool. It's so tempting to put in Might of the Meek. Honestly, I need to pick, I'm going to start picking Roughshod duos earlier because people are starting to pick those up. Like, in week 1, people kind of undervalued that card and you got it pretty late. But now, like, after everyone's kind of seen, like, okay, if you're not playing green in your deck, you're just at a strict disadvantage. I think a lot of people understand, like, that is one of the top red commons. Wow, I keep opening these hands when I don't have both sources. This is a playable hand, even though I don't have both sources. I'm on the draw. I think I need to be faster against this guy. Oh, well, that's not what I meant, but okay. My hand is just completely reactive, but whatever. Well, that's not a good draw. Maybe we'll go with the token maker. Okay. Yeah, I can playful shove that. That's fine. The fact he's going to get a +2/0 that's a little irritating. 3 damage turn 2 is pretty good. Ooh, we get a green. That's so nice. I'm not going to show him I have the green yet. I honestly feel like this isn't. It should be an instant. It's uncommon. Ooh, Hugs is here. Let's go. No, but for real. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think this card should have been an instant? Because we had Flick a Coin an instant in Eldraine. And this is basically like slightly worse Flick a Coin. Like the fact you draw a card instead of get a treasure and it costs 1 less. I feel like it should be an instant. Okay, well, this is sorcery as well, so I have to do that here. Getting another green was actually kind of nice because now I could play Hugs on 4. I think I just have to do this. I do this, and the next turn I go Alania's. If we aren't just straight up dead before then, I could Hugs for 2, which is cool. He had that Beza card again. That's pretty frustrating. So I'm going to take 4 damage, but next turn I can go Conduct Electricity and just pick off both bodies. So even if he has the Death Toucher, we're fine. Okay, that's cool. It means in 2 turns I Hugs for 2. As long as he doesn't develop and kill my guy. Aw, that's so bad. Yeah, that's so fucked. Yeah, I don't want to lose my guy. I need a blocker. Into that. Wow, that's bad. Well, I need to do this before he can buff with his ability. So that's fine. I can use that as a blocker, and next turn I can go Hugs into Brazen Collector if I need 2 bodies. If not, I go for 1. Okay. Got my trick? You have a trample? Might of the Meek for game or something? Sonar Strike? Okay. Well, that was great for us. Ooh. Well, that's really nice. High key, though, I think I just want to get Hugs down. Like, if I'm dead, I'm dead. But this could find us removal to, like, answer his board, maybe. Triggering the expend now doesn't really matter. Like, I just need to stabilize. Oh, that's great. And I can play my second land. So if I draw a land next turn, I can play everything in my hand, right? I could definitely play 3 out of the 4 cards. Take out the trash, answers that if he doesn't pump. And now I can just trade away my hugs because I have my junk blade. Okay. Ooh, Fecund Green Shell is actually so late here. The fact this isn't sorcery, it's really frustrating. Green Show. Nice. That's actually really cool. Man, I want to do that, but I know he can just pump, which is stupid. He has 4 up. He keeps looking like he's going to tap that. And it feels bad that I'm just losing resources. Maybe I just get this for the chump. It feels so bad losing this because that was my way to out that, but I have 2 chump blockers. I mean, next turn I can get 2 more, maybe. Sweet. Ooh, that's nice. He does have the mana to do it again, though. So this will let us draw a card. Yes, sir. Could just kill that. I probably just develop, so there's like no ways I can die here. He has 2 creatures, I have 4. The chances of us dying here is like really low. He would have to have an AoE pump like Rabbit Rescue, and I think he'd also need a Might of the Meek. I don't even know if that would do it, because this just has so much toughness. I'm actually 2 away from turning on Fecund Green Shell. That's funny. So I guess if I took out the trash... Oh, that's gross. That's so gross, bro. Fecund Green Shell doesn't deserve this. He was so close. He's actually only at 3 mana. That's amazing for us. This is huge. I could have been ballsy and went in for the junk blade. Maybe that was correct. Oh, well, now I can do both of these. That's crazy. Yeah, that's huge. Double expend for no reason because expend is a fun mechanic. Now I have some like people I can really afford to attack with, and this is just doing nothing. Calls rabbit, doesn't draw rabbits. Haha, couldn't be me. Oh my gosh, he top picked the best rabbit. That's sus. This guy's sussy baka as fuck, bro. I mean, I think I can attack with both if I play both. I mean, I have enough chumps, so. Would you like to exchange game pieces? No? Okay. Closing the distance here. Oh, that's so brutal. With the patchwork banner and the Balin, that's just so fucking brutal right now. Man, everyone we played against has been able to out our Hugs and our Fekun Green Shell, and it feels really bad. Like, I just wanted to be the person who bombed out for the one time, but we go against the people who have the specific removal outs for it. Like, Banishing Light's so good against our deck. That's okay. These first strikers are pretty good for us. Maybe he'll trade away 2 tokens. Wow. Okay. So if I top deck my Valley Rally, though, he's basically cooked. Yeah, Valley Rally is probably our best way to win the game here. And I mean, we still have game 3 if we need it, but I don't really want to because this guy's deck's scary. Like, he is the best deck in the format. Now I understand why he was playing red, and it's because he has such an insane deck that he gets to use this card, which is only good if your deck's already good. Like, I don't really like cards like this. This card and the banner are susceptible to, like, the same, like, fault of their mechanics, is that they're only good if your deck is already absurdly powerful. So, like, this card just isn't enjoyable because it's not really there to provide fixing, and it doesn't really serve that purpose in the format. What it does is, if you have a deck that's already like, insane, like, there are 2 kinds of decks in this format. The people who get to be in the wide open lane in their 2-color pair and have an absurdly unfair deck compared to other people, and the people who didn't get all tribal cards and might have to play a 3-color deck or have a 2-color deck that, like, splashes something because they're low on playables, or they have a 2-color deck that just isn't, like, tribal based. Like, they have a lot of game pieces that don't work together. And cards like this and the banner, realistically, you only want to play those in the decks that are so streamlined that it just makes your good deck win more. So they're just win more cards. Like, if you're already winning, these cards just promote you to continue winning. That's cool. Oh, what? You get to put 3 1/1 counters on this? I didn't know that. Okay, I'm stupid. I thought they just put 1/1. That card's just that. Wow, that's insane. I didn't know you could do that. Yo, what's up, Brian? How are you doing, bro? Sorry if you put your message in a while ago. Sometimes the YouTube chat doesn't show up on my Streamlabs. How are you doing, bro? I haven't heard from you in a long time. Hope your family's doing well, my friend. Okay, so I think I'm just dead here, right? Because he can just tap his tokens. This goes up to... He has 5 tokens, so we can use this one time. So this goes up to 1312, which means I need to block 7 damage. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 minus 13. These are first strike. Do I have a way to remove his coyote? If I have a way to remove the coyote, I might be able to win. So I have a long stalk brawl, so I would have to have a creature with 3 power survive, which just isn't realistic here. Yeah, GG. We'll go to the next game. That was unfair. Unfortunate. Yeah, our opponent just has an absurd deck. I would love to, like... I'm, like, around 30 drafts in, like, a little bit under that. I am yet to ever, like, be in a position to play an optimal green-white deck. And I don't understand how Carrot Cake is the #1 highest win rate common. Because I don't think you that frequently get to move into that space. You have to have quite a few things going for you. #1, you need to have the cards that generate tokens, and you would like to have some of the cards that provide you value for having the tokens, such as like the 1-mana guy whose attack becomes 3 if you have a token. And it's like, you don't want to take those guys early. You want to get the cards that generate tokens early. The issue is the cards that generate tokens fall into multiple decks, and those are just heavily contested. So you kind of have to be in a pod where the people aren't that good. Man, we're not doing good with these mulligans. Yeah, we're not doing good with mulligans at all. This is terrible. Holy fuck. Our opponent is mold. Can we go to 5 with this deck? It's a 1-lander. If we get to 2 lands, though, I Brazen Collector. Nah, that doesn't make sense. That's stupid. I have to go to 5 here. Holy shit, I'm just straight up breaking. I can't get a solid hand. You could argue that I should keep the Rampager, but in my opinion, if I'm not drawing a red at that point in the game, I'm just dead anyway. Yeah, so this mulligan actually made the Gecko like so much worse, because now even if I want to rummage, I'm gonna have less cards to utilize. Okay, so I guess we can see if he wants to trade. Okay. Ah, use a turn 3 Patchwork Banner. That's some BS, man. Throw our game pieces on the board. I think we're just going to lose here. He's just gonna stabilize. I mean, he has all his mana sources. Yep. Head of the Homestead. This card's so oppressive in this deck. So fucking oppressive, bro. I do have a Raccoon, though, which is kind of nice. Yeah. Yeah, this combo is just so stupid. It's just so degen, man. Why would you not? Okay, I was about to say, I was like, bro, that's just, those are easy blocks. Like, you trade away game pieces. I'm just hoping that you don't have enough value for me to be able to sit here and play my green shell. Oh, he has to bail it again. Wow. Yeah, this guy is just such a high roller. He's just drawn perfectly. Alright, well, I need him to not draw a token generator, and I need to draw land, or we just lose. Man, people be drawing hot today, for real, for real. I'm at 12. I need to draw land so bad. Wait, what? Why did you wait until main phase 2 to play that? Why wouldn't you just put that on there, get in for a vigilance? You keep your guy. Gosh, I needed to draw land so bad. I'm so cooked here. I'm basically just a dead man walking. Realistically, I have no good blocks here. And it's all thanks to this guy. I mean, honestly, it's really just because we bricked. Like, both of the matches we played thus far, we have not had a keepable 7-card hand that had just both of our mana sources. Like, this is why I just keep hands in this format, that if you have both mana sources. It doesn't even really matter what the details of the hand are. If you have both mana sources, you're probably going to be able to convince me that I should keep the hand, just because, like, bricking in this format is so damn easy. So this is 8. I mean, I'm dead if I don't do this, so I have to do this. I could just trade both, and then I'm taking 7. I mean, this is the highest value card. If he has a combat trick, I mean, I'm just cooked. Okay. I'm at 3. And if I Fekun Green Shell, I have to top this out, so I'm just dead anyway. GG's. Yeah, there wasn't a lot I could do. I mean, I just had no agency, to be honest. My opponent just bombed out. He's playing the best archetype in the format, and I just flooded straight up. TT is what it is. That's okay. I don't feel as bad because a lot of good people I've been watching, and a lot of good people I've talked to have been struggling in this format too. Like, it's just like an inconsistent format, and it's very easy to be beaten down by someone who, like, because you don't go against people in the same pod as you, it's very easy to just be destroyed by someone who was in a pod where it was just freeloaded them, and they just got like a fully open green-white deck, and you're over here like, I have some cards that have synergies, but not all of them. And they're like, okay, Balin, Patchwork Banner. I have 12 Rabbits, double Patchwork Banner. And you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, it's kind of how it be, though. Okay, well, I opened my mana sources, so, like, we're playing. We're playing the game, at least. That's all I ask. I just want to have a playable game where I can feel like I at least somewhat affected the outcome of the game. I understand if someone has a better deck than me, like, that's cool. Like, that last guy, but, like, I could have easily beat that guy if we didn't just break every game. Voted by an orator. Okay, really like that card, to be honest with you. I mean, this is a really weird situation. I guess I just have to play my Gecko. Realistically, even if I trigger the ability, it's not that good here because I don't have another 2-drop. And I don't really want to use my removal on this because it's not valuable. Really? Adding the land over the treetop sentries? That's interesting. I guess because he feels like he can add it back off that. If I had the, what is that called? The Agate Assault, this guy'd be in such a bad position. Yeah, he'd be in a really bad game state here. Yeah, I mean, I think at a certain point I do have to start trading game pieces. And I guess if he's taking a turn off, I'm probably fine with that. But at the same time, next turn I'll be able to start using this ability to like pump and just get in for my 3s. And then at that point, it's like he won't be able to block with that. So that's probably better. Like he already has a food. Okay, yeah, I'm killing that all day. That shit is dead. Don't even look at that, bro. Like, it's gone. Card's gone, bro. Like, just like that. Yeah, the card's just gone, bro. Don't worry. I got you, son. Beep. It sucks because now, like, I can't secretly trigger this without him knowing. I would have to just ping face, which is what I'm, like, kind of thinking about doing. Maybe I just... rummage. Rummaging just, this seems like the best time to do that. Like, I don't want to lose this, but I am willing to lose this. So, I think I'm willing... He does want to buy that back, though, but if he's taking the time to do that... Yeah, I think I'm cool with that. Okay. Sweet. I mean, if he's taking a turn off to activate that ability, that's fine. Like, I don't really care. At that point, I'll probably get another removal. He only has 3 lands right now. Is he stuck on 3 lands? Oh, he's stuck on 3 lands. That's insane. Oh, I should have done that last turn. Yeah, well, this is just really nice. I can go Junkblade Bruiser, buff my guy, get him for 4, start mitigating one of his foods. He does have 6 engraved, though, so he has a free forage. No land, you're not that guy? I try to land. He's that guy. I feel bad for this guy, because he went, nah, I don't feel bad for this guy at all. He's a piece of shit.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
I was about to say I felt bad for him because he went cash grab to add a land and still got stuck on 3. But then he pulled this BS. Missed me with that BS, son. I need a Fecund green shell this guy. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen someone more worthy of getting fucked up by a Fecund green shell. No, no, don't do me like that, son. Don't do me like that. Fecund green shell. Yes, yes, he's here. He's here, baby.
Gotcha, bitch.
He's here, baby. You already know how we be. Fecund green shell W's in the chat. Green shell on some Mario Kart shit, son. You know how we be. This card is so, like, why does this have reach? Like, it's a tortoise that's, like, shooting things out of his back. Why does he have reach? Tortoises are, like, notoriously slow as shit. This can't block. He has another Bone Bind. I mean, I need to attack. I'm probably going to attack, play Green Shell, main phase 2. Creature? No. Okay. Get that out of there. Yeah, get this shit out of there. Oh my gosh. Draw Hugs, please. Hugs would be so dirty here. If he's spending his turn to go Bone Bind, no. Bro, what the fuck? How does he just top deck another removal? This guy has used 1, 2, 3. He has 4 removals seen in grave. That's ridiculous. Like, and he has 2 Bone Bind Warrior. I just keep going against these people who are playing Removal City. They're not even playing Removal City. It's just they're drawing all 5 of the removal spells in their deck in sequence every game. And it's like just really frustrating. Yeah, I have to keep this because there's a chance I could loot. I really need to draw into Hugs here. If I don't get Hugs, I don't think I can come back. Because he's going to be able to add back his Darkstar Augur and just start playing from the grave. Wow, he's not doing that? Okay. Well, I have to hold this for sure. I'm definitely willing to trade that. He can only add back 1, so he adds back Darkstar Augur, and then I guess he can use both sides, though. Man, if I had, like, a Peerless Recycling, this deck would be so much better. Because I have good... Wait, why are you adding that back? That's, like, the worst thing for you to add back. Dude, you, like, always add back, freaking Darkstar Augur. You have 2 foods. Like that's so troll. Why are you not doing that?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
I didn't want to have to do this to you, bud. I'm fluffing up the fish. I'm fluffing here, boys. Fluffing the fish. Don't mind me getting rid of this Darkstar Augur. So I'm on a turn 2 clock. This reduces the clock. Okay, I don't think we can do anything here. Wow, if I Hugs here, that'd be so dirty. Hugs for 10. Hugs for 10. Am I playing Commander? Hugs for 10 is like a Commander-ass thing to do. Oh, I actually just died to that. That was stupid. Alright, well, Hopefully we can draw our mana sources. I kind of wish I had a patchwork banner so I could be the person doing that stuff. Gosh, dude, why does this happen so much? I mean, given the circumstances of what we've seen happen, I'm going to keep. This is bad, but it's like, I'm not going to sit here and just try to play this game of going down to 5 every game. Like, I'm not going to be able to win like that. Our opponent's deck has too much value. Our opponent's deck is so good that I don't think we could win by mulling. Yeah, I mean, he just showcased us a new rare that we didn't know he had. Oh, that has menace, so I have to attack. If we get a red mana... A red mana wouldn't even really change. No, red mana changes everything. Because I can kill that guy. That guy's up there. Shit. Well, I really need a red mana here. Not gonna be able to block anyway, so. Yeah, these guys just have multiple rares. You know, I know I'm the one saying that when I have a Hugs and a Fekun Green Shell. But it doesn't seem like it matters when all the people we play against just have, like, infinite removal. I really wish I had one of those bells. We don't have one of those, right? I think we're just cooked. Yeah, we didn't get a single one of the bells. And we're just dead. I mean, I could have mulled, but... with what's been happening to us mulling, I feel like it was better to keep. Like, we already know the guy's deck just outvalues us. Because, like, every one of his cards trades 2 for 1 since he has so many rares. And, like, yeah, just stuff like that. Like... trades 2 for 1, like, plays this guy, gets another +1. He can add back from the grave. Like, his deck's just so insane. I have a late game bomb, but at that point, this guy has so much premium removal that it feels like it doesn't even matter. And now I'm just dead on turn 4 of the game. Holy shit. That sucked. Man, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. Like, I drafted the deck accordingly, and we're just getting unlucky. One win? I got one win with a Fekun Green Shell and a Hugs? How's that even possible? Like, what? Holy shit, dude. That's so bad. Wow. Yeah, that was not a fun draft. Alright, I'm going to start one more. I just want to see if I can ever be the green-white player. I'm kind of just like preparing for this weekend, but it just feels like you don't have a lot of agency in this format. And I know some people would be like, you're just bad, like, get better. Like, there are certain people I've been seeing, like, on a soapbox, basically screaming resistance. Like, there's skillful things to do. Like, there's not that many skillful things to do. When you go against people like that, like, I don't know what you're doing. Like, you just have to have a more bomby deck. But the people that I went against in this run, they just had very wide open lanes. I had a red-green deck that had 2 bombs. But my early game wasn't great. And I was primarily red, not primarily green. Which being primarily green is just a huge thing. And green wasn't available, but like the red cards I was seeing didn't necessarily slot into a white space. So I don't think it was correct to go white. I think I ended up in the correct lane and we got a pick 7 Hugs. That's pretty cool, at least. You know, like, I've never seen that happen. But it's just the people we went against were just so hot, like, high variance. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Sorry you had a phone call. What's up? Not much, bro. I'm just running some drafts before I have to go to bed to get up and go work out at like 5 a.m. Basically, all that you missed was me getting sacked by a dirty high roller. I had a really strong deck. I had 2 bombs, but this format is kind of low agency in the sense that, like, since you're playing against people who are outside of your pod, and this is like a very 2-color segmented format, if you don't end up in like a wide open lane and you go against people who do, you're like heavily punished. That's like a big part of it. Like the person I went against, I had 2 good bombs, but my deck was primarily red and not primarily green, which was like a really bad thing in my archetype. And my opponent is playing the second best archetype in the format, and he had 5 bombs. So, and they were early game bombs, which is a big difference. He also just curved out with removal, and I just couldn't draw mana sources. Probably the most frustrating thing about this format, and like, it's not that I'm frustrated, it's just makes it less fun, is the mana fixing. There's basically no mana fixing, and so there'll be some games, like what happened in our last draft, is I'm playing 9 mountains, 8 forests, and then we open 5 red cards, 2 green mana, and then I mull, and then I draw the exact opposite. We go down to 5. And then because the opponent's deck is so high card quality, it doesn't really matter what that 5 card hand is. We're not going to be able to beat them because their cards just trade 2 for 1. So that is like a little unfortunate set of circumstances of this format, because the last format was not like that at all, Modern Horizons, which is probably to date now my favorite draft set of all time. And in that format, I had a 73% match win rate, and I finished in the top 50 on 17 lands for the format, and I did like close to 100 drafts, not including in-person tournaments I played in. But that set was just more fun because there was a lot of incentives to go 3 colors. Like there was more fixing. You're doing plumbing now, so you hardly have time for cards. Yeah, bro, it's really nice to see you. I graduated from OSU last year, so I have a degree in marketing and entrepreneurship, and I'm thinking about going back to school because I've had a hard time not being able to find a job for marketing around here. But I just got to the second stage of an interview for a job right now. Alright, welcome back to another BLOOMBURROW draft on the channel. This is a pretty nice pack here. We have an Emberheart Challenger, which is definitely an A- level card. A card that I think is just strong in any red deck and doing a lot of work in Standard right now. And then we also have a Mabel Heir to Cragflame, which is a little bit less good, but it is like very good if you get in the Mice deck. It's just I'd rather pick this card because it's more versatile. There's also a Mentor and Flame Cache Gecko. Wouldn't mind starting with either of those. But overall, just like a really high value pack. Okay, pick number 2. We see a Mabel's Medal, which is definitely the #1 highest value combat trick in the entire format. There's also a Coruscation Mage, which I think is fine. It's just like, if you end up in a place to where this effect is actually impactful on the game state, you probably don't have a good deck. And for that reason, I will try to avoid it like the plague. There's also a Longstalk Brawl, which I could be convinced is the pick here. I think I'm going to go with the Mabel's Medal. I just think that it's probably better to start with this over the Brawl. Because if we don't have good creatures, like, it's just not just good. There's also just like a white card, which I feel like meshes better with this Challenger. Okay, Flame Cache Gecko is awesome. It's probably going to be my pick. Flame Cache Gecko versus Take Out the Trash. I think this card is good enough. I think it's a little bit less versatile, but I think it's good enough with the cards that we already have to justify me picking it, because we don't have a Raccoon yet, and this card becomes a lot more beneficial when you have a Raccoon. And plus, if we end up in this red-white deck, you don't want that much removal. Like, you want like 4 removal spells total. So I'd rather prioritize the creature. Really don't dislike that I'm having to start red again, because it seems like I just get really unlucky with red, but we will hope for the best. Maybe the Emberheart Challenger carry. Ooh, this is a nice pack, boys.
I fucking knew it! Oh!
We have the Quake Tusk Boar, my personal favorite card of the format. This card's just good in every red deck. Pretty much all the elementals of their respective colors are absolutely amazing. Star Charter is one that I've seen other people screw me over with it, but ultimately I have not found an opportunity to actually go into the Bats deck yet, and I think it's because this card doesn't really pull me into the archetype, because you need to have enablers to justify this, and I rarely have seen an opportunity to start with enabler outside of a sealed pool. So I'm going to go with the Quake Tusk Spore, stay the path red, potentially be red, white, red, black, or red, green, staying very open, very versatile now. So there's a lot less good stuff in this pack. There is a Curious Forager, which is fine, but I don't think it's really that good with red. It's a little bit better with white. There is a Steam Path Charger, which I think is fine. A little bit better in the Lizards deck because it can proc your abilities that require your opponent to lose life. So that's probably going to be our pick here. If we were starting black, I would definitely like to pick this card up because it's just the best card in this pack, but that's not the case. And everything else in here is just things I prefer not to play. Okay, well, this pack legitimately has nothing I'm very highly interested in. I think it's either this Feed the Cycle or this Head of the Homestead. So it's like, do we want to be red-black, or do we think we have a higher chance of being red-green / red-white? You know, that is a good question. It looks like we're a little bit lower to the ground, which might make me assume that I'm less likely to be green, but this is still a white card. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with Feed the Cycle. I mean, that's a decent signal that that's something to be doing. Okay, well, there is a Pick 7 Take Out the Trash, which is cool. I think it's probably a little bit better than the Marshstalker. Marshstalker, great card, but you really want to be playing the Threshold deck, which we're not in the capability to do so, nor have we really seen any of the premium Threshold cards. So we'll pick up our first removal spell here. Even without any raccoons, it's still one of the better ones. Any removal spell that costs less than 3 is pretty strong in this format since the game starts on turn 1. And then there's nothing here I'm really too excited about. Maybe this Mudflat Village is like the highest possible upside. Veteran Guard Mouse is one I think you tend to avoid because the 4-drop slot is often contested. So I'll go with the Village. Okay, and then there's nothing here that really excites me. I think I'm going to go with the Agate Blade Assassin. Not a great card, but I do think it's a little bit better than this Whisker Quill if we end up being in the Lizard deck. Already have 2 Lizards, so that is a possibility. And then nothing here really piques my interest. Take the Rabbit Rescue. If we want to go white, that's a good card. Ooh, Pick 11 Cindering Cutthroat. This is a great card in any red deck, and I've actually, like, very much so gone up on this because I've realized how versatile it is. But in the Lizard deck, it is even better because you're already doing the thing that this rewards you for. Daring Wave Rider is a cool card, but not in the position to play it here. So overall, we're starting in a really good position from pack number 1. Very solid green strategy. So it's looking very bright for us. Probably more interested in going black than I am anything else. But nothing is off of the table thus far. So it's actually a really strong pack here. Dream Dude Entrancer, arguably a top 5 rare / mythic in the set. This card ends games with the ability to, you know, target your opponent's stuff, target your stuff, and the ability to recur. Crazy. Also a Wix Patrol, which is great. Wix Patrol is awesome. I will say it's less good in this archetype of red-black, but it is still a fine card nonetheless. There's also a Saver, which I think this is on the same spectrum of power level as the Wix Patrol, but it is a 2-cost card, and it gives us a food fodder for our Feed the Cycle. Considering I already have 1 5-drop, and this deck tends to be low to the ground, I think the Saver is just a better choice. So this pack is a little bit more of a decisive decision here. I'm going to go with the Alania's Pathmaker. It's probably the only card that really rewards us for moving into this strategy. Whisker Quill Scribe is something we can get on the wheel, though, for sure. This card's just good in any deck, let's be real. Ooh, we got a rare Wick the World Might. Actually a really cool card, but you have to be in the rat space. And we have no rats, so we're not really doing that. Do see another Whisker Quill. Daggerfang Duo is fine. It's not great. We don't really care that much about milling. And Whisker Quill Scribe is just like okay. Do I have anything that really allows me to target things? Not necessarily, but I'm also not confirmed black, surprising. Like, I still could be white. The Mabel's Medal is just a good card. How often do I stream? Usually every day or every other day when I have the time available. Ooh, there's a good one. Vren the Relentless. Really strong card. Really good incentive to be blue-black. Not the best position to be doing that. Now, there is not a great black card or a great red card in this pack. There is, in fact, some good, solid white cards. I'm going to go with this Dream Loom Coyote. The potential for us to cut black and play white is still there, surprisingly, considering how late we are into this draft. But I'm not really giving up much by making this decision. So I think it's probably justifiable here. Like, I don't see any card really going into our deck if we took something else. Okay, well, we got a couple things left here. There's Early Winter, which is cool. I don't really like these tapped lands in the Lizard deck because it's just too fast. This card's good if we want to go white. Yeah, it's like a fine card. And then Sazcap's Brew is actually kind of good. It's card selection. It counts as targeting for the Scribe as well as the Challenger, which is actually just overall really nice. I have good white cards, but they're not necessarily the best meshed. And we're kind of low on creatures, which is unfortunate. I'm just going to go with the Sazcap's Brew. I could have taken the Warden. That would have been fine. The 2/2 Rabbit that AoE buffs everyone. Okay, well, there's not really anything here I'm quite interested in. Might of the Meek is okay. Currently sitting at a total of 2 mice, which isn't, like, great. Not a great incentive to play it. I don't know if you want to play 2 Rabbit Response, though. That seems like quite a lot, so I guess I'll pick it up. Just not seeing a lot of creatures overall, which is a terrible sign. Oh, hey, there's a rat colony. That's hilarious. Yeah, this card is just terrible. I don't know why they printed it. But, ooh, there's a Patchwork Banner. Definitely something I'm interested in. Just like I mentioned before, this is a card that just heavily rewards someone whose draft is already going very well. And it looks like our draft's going well if we're seeing a pick 8 Rabbit Gnaw. Now, it's really sad it's next to a Scales of Shale, because we are sitting at 4 lizards, which is cool. If we could see some more creatures, that'd be great, but I still don't know what I'm doing here, so we're going to go Rabbit Gnaw. Rabbit Gnaw is just a premium card. Very rarely do you actually see that card go late, so I'm very surprised to see that happen there. Probably never playing another Sazcap's Brew. I have one way to generate food. That's my only token generation. Yeah, I'll take this guy. I don't really want to play him, but he's a 2-drop. I can play him if I need. Take this Lizard card here if we want to go black. Okay, well now things are kind of lining up more so to be black. This card is fine. I'll probably just take this. It is a Punisher effect, which is decent in the Lizard deck. Yeah, it looks like there are more incentives for us to go red-black. Just haven't really seen the cards to do so. But let's hope this pack treats us a little bit better. Okay, so in terms of the creatures, there's the Brazen Collector. There's also the Glyve Duo as a finisher. And there's also a Frilled Spark Shooter, get back on the wheel, get back the Steam Pass Charger on the wheel. I'm just going to take the Collector here and just hope that we get one of those common creatures on the wheel. Just a good card in our deck. It's crazy I've been able to stay undecided this long. Like, that's just absurd. Well, there's a really good one for us. Fireglass Mentor. Have yet to been able to have the opportunity to play this card, so looks like today is going to be the day. There's a really cool rare in this pack. Castrel is a card that is worth splashing. It is obscene when you resolve it. It's unfortunate we're giving up the Glyve Duo, but I think this card's just too impactful for what we're trying to do here. I've committed to the red-black dream, baby. No rares needed. Okay, we have a rare. The rares are needed. Am I streaming on either platforms? Yeah, I'm streaming on Twitch and Rumble. I usually do YouTube, Twitch, and Rumble. And if you do command avatar in the chat, you can select what person you want to be from One Piece. Okay, well, there are some more creatures. We've got the Thoughtstalker Warlock, which is arguably one of the best black uncommons in any deck, but especially a Lizard deck where we're trying to set ourselves up to utilize the opponent losing life. But it's next to a Brazen Collector, which really sucks. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave the collector on the sideline, pick this guy up because he's a great addition to our deck. And wow, we are seeing another one back to back. That's really good, really difficult to turn down a fell here. I think that decision is actually very, very close, but I do think that considering we started off the draft low on creatures, I probably do just need this guy. And he trades 1 for 1 anyway, so it's not the worst. But man, this deck's looking really nice. So far we have 14 creatures. If we get a couple more, we're going to be looking really good. Okay, there's not a lot left in this pack for us, but there is a really good card here in the form of Consumed by Greed, which is great considering we just passed up some removal, and now we're sitting at, I believe, 4 total pieces of interaction, which is great. Into a fell, into a saver. Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's really, really nice. So now we have all the removal we need. We have the early game. If I had another premium 1-drop, that'd be really cool, but you can't ask for that much. And then, oh, okay. Well, there's a Ravine Raider. Ravine Raider is actually pretty nice in this deck, considering we have all the targets for it. It's either Ravine Raider or the Roughshod Duo. Considering we already have, like, you know, a couple 3s, and you prefer to not have that many 3s in a deck like this, I'm going with the Raider here. First time trying it out, so excited to see what it can do. Would love to get to another Alania's. If we had a second 4-drop, I think our deck would be perfect. But unfortunately, there's nothing here for us, so just pick this card. I doubt I'll ever put it in. Ooh, well that is a good finisher. Glide Dive Duo. There's also the Steam Path Charger. I think it's just Glide Dive Duo every time. Yeah, Glide Dive Duo is just great, but I think you could convince me Steam Path Charger is a fair pick as well. Ooh, and we're getting a second Glide Dive Duo. That is perfect. So we have a good amount of finishers here, and we're going to end the draft with a Agate Blade Assassin, another really strong lizard card, giving us ways to enable our Thoughtstalker Warlocks, so that is awesome. Starless Soothsayer is actually pretty cool, because we can gain life in some form, so that's kind of nice. We ended up with a lot of good cards in Pack 3. I've heard a lot of very skillful players, very well-known players say this, and it's been something I've been picking up on too, is that the one thing that is interesting about this format, although a lot of the drafts can be cookie cutter, is that Pack 3 has such a high impact on you, because at that point, everyone is going down this one tribal lane, and like, if you take a look at everything we got in Pack 3, we did not have enough playables to make a deck at the end of Pack 2. Like, it wasn't looking good. Then we just got past the exact card that we needed to have as a finisher in this deck. We either wanted to get Glide Dive Duo or another Alania's Pathmaker, and we got 2 Glide Dive Duo back to back. We got 2 Agate Blade Assassin, 2 Thoughtstalker Warlock in that pack. I mean, even just another replaceable 3-drop, and we got a Ravine Raider. Like, that pack was absurd. Yeah, this deck looks pretty good, and we were able to snag a Mudflat Village, which could be a decent card just to be able to recur our creatures, since we didn't get the most premium creatures. How many lizards do we get? We got 12 lizards? That's the most I've ever seen. Holy shit. Now I'm the one who's abusing Patchwork Banner. That's actually absurd. What is the worst card in our deck? I think legitimately the worst card in our deck would have to be Whiskerquill Scribe. Now, I do really wish, though, that we had gotten a couple copies of the Combat Trick for the Lizard deck. I believe it's called... let me see it here. It's a C+ level card, but it's really good in this deck. Scales of Shale. Okay, yeah, I know. It's just a strong card. So Scales of Shale is 2 and a black for an instant, and it gives someone +2/+0, lifelink and indestructible until end of turn. But for each lizard, it reduces the cost by 1. So if we had a couple copies of that, this deck would be absurd. Unfortunately, we do not, but the deck's still fine with what we have. It just could have definitely been better. We can trigger things with Rabid Gnaw, which is cool. Sazcap's Brew I probably need as well. You know, I'm very tempted to just go 16 lands, but that's probably a suicide pact. I've got 6 removal, which is awesome. Yeah, let me look at a trophy deck real quick. I want to make sure I get the curve right. Okay, 1 second. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that, boys. Had some shit going on. Okay, I do think it's kind of weird that my deck's like really high costed. I think a lot of people would be against that. Maybe you just want more 2-drops. Alani is his really good card. Seven 2-drops is pretty good. It's kind of right where you want to be. If you gained or lost life this turn, Surveil 1. So how often can I do that? 1, 2. Yeah, I can't really consistently do that to justify it. Wow, 12 lizards is just crazy to me. I'm really thinking about just taking out a land here. But I guess you get cucked so hard in the lands, like you can't really do that. So some people are playing War Squeak, which is interesting. And Bandit's Talent. I don't like Bandit's Talent. I think it's ass. I don't know why you would play that. What is the worst removal spell I have? Or how many things do I have that trigger off of life? So I have the Mentor. I have Gecko. That's 2. I have these guys. That's 4. That's 5. I mean, there's a decent amount of guys that trigger off opponent losing life. Plus, those are just lizards, which is somewhat relevant. It might just be Savor. I'm definitely more dense into black. Is Savor better than... the question is Savor better than... What's his face? Take out the trash. Take out the trash is more versatile because it can deal 3, and I don't really care much about the food. Yeah, because I think Rabid Knowledge is the better card. That seems fine to me. This is a 16 creature deck. Like, I need to be able to push through damage here. And then we're going to play the Mudflat Village. I mean, we literally have 12 lizards, which is awesome. And it's getting a little bit late, so I'm probably going to end the stream here and pick back up tomorrow. I got to get up early in the morning to get some work done and go to the gym. So, do a little outro here, and then we'll finish this up tomorrow. Going to put this on the YouTube. Make sure to check out my most recent YouTube video if you want to hear a laugh. Alright, so we ended up with a pretty awesome red-black lizard deck. This is actually my first time getting to utilize Fireglass Mentor, which is pretty cool, because I've heard a lot of hype around this card. Unfortunately, we did not get any copies of Scales of Shale. That is the 2-in-a-black instant for the lizard archetype, which reads, give someone +2/+0, lifelink, and indestructible until end of turn, and then for each lizard you control, you reduce the cost by 1. So if you control 2 lizards, it costs 1, which is absurd. Unfortunately, we did not get any of those because the packs that had them were either early on before we knew we were lizards and before we knew that we were black, or they had better cards in them. Like, I think a Thoughtstalker Warlock was in one of the packs, and I just had to take this card because this card's insane. But we do have other things going on. I mean, we have plenty of premium removal here. 2 Saver, Feed the Cycle, Consumed by Greed, all solid B to B plus cards. And then, like I just mentioned, we have 2 Thoughtstalker Warlock, which is a card that's great in any deck, but especially in a deck that can trigger it, that is amazing. And we also have some good top ends. 2 Glide Dive Duo, this card's good in duplicates. And then we also have a Quake Tuskboar, probably my favorite red card in the entire set, probably my second favorite card after the Moose. I just think it's an awesome card in any deck, and I love that we're going back to, you know, the old bread and butter days of stats are king. And then because we have 12 total lizards, which is the most creatures of any type I have actually had in a single deck at once, this Patchwork banner is going to come in super, super clutch. And to top all that off, we were also blessed with an Ember Heart Challenger, which is arguably just one of the most versatile, just good stat rares in the format, and has been taking over Constructed in that annoying standard mono red deck. Really interested to see how the Ravine Raider works out, because I know this is a card that people have liked and also disliked. It's very, you know, polarizing. I've heard it's really good in the lizard deck, but we're about to find that out today. Is it good enough without Scales of Shale? Is it good enough without Scales of Shale? That is the question that we are going to be finding the answer to. That is the question we're going to be searching for the answer to today. So let's go ahead and hop into these games. Alright, well, I've got to get ready for bed because it's getting pretty late, but we've had a pretty good stream. We had a pretty good stream today. Unfortunately, I mean, we just went against a lot of good decks, and we got very unlucky on our mana bases, but this deck looks like it's going to be turning things around and getting us back in the win column. Make sure to be on the lookout for a stream this weekend. I'm going to be playing in the Arena Play-In Qualifier, and you already know your boy is making it to the second day and qualifying for the Mythic Championship. I'm locked in, baby. It's my time to open a sealed pool where I can play green-black squirrels and draft a Fecund green shell. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and rest of your evening wherever you are at, and I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow, and if not, I'll see you guys over on the YouTube. So thank you so much for stopping by, and as always, if it's not the goo, it's got to go. Peace.